Well, a very good morning and welcome to today's edition of the topical discussion. Today we're reviving one of the stories that perhaps has been erased off our minds at the height of the 2026 political election. In the heat of the moment, a number of new political organizations sprouted. And this caused a bit of euphoria and definitely a bit of apprehension in equal measure, with some people expressing reservations, but others welcoming the new players on the block as reinvigorating the spirit of multipartyism in Uganda. But in the aftermath of the election, these political parties vanished. What exactly happened? It's the story that we'll be examining this morning. And joining me is the Secretary General of the Peasants Party, National Peasants Party, Mr. Sharif Nambale Sentongo, together with the political analyst, Dr. Daniel Walyemera. Good to have you both and a very good morning.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Mr. Nambale, where are you hiding?
No, we are not hiding. We are better off doing our usual political business at our command center in Kasui.
How did the steam fizzle out? That a party, very fresh, you even featured a presidential candidate, but you're now no more, literally.
No, we have been having a lot of business going on. We are just concluding the LC1 elections throughout the whole country. And I'm here to report to the viewers of NBS that the National Peasants Party fielded a number of candidates in different areas of Uganda, both the chairpersons and the women leaders. And so far we managed to have some positions in some districts as National Peasants Party. To me, I don't believe that politics ends with an election. In fact, this is the right time to build up a party. You know it very well. This is why people may seem not to be seeing us making a lot of noise, but we are there building and strongly doing a better foundation for the structures of the National Peasants Party.
Okay, have you been hit by the virus that ate up the traditional old parties that have gone into abeyance?
To my understanding, you know, the current Ugandan style of play is good at slandering a number of wordings towards political players. I may not say that such habits have not been present, but for us as National Peasant Party, you saw a lot of predicaments falling on the National Peasant Party at birth. In fact, when I was entering, I had you introducing our former party president, the right Hajati Stacia Mayanja, who was bought off by government. And when I hear people blackmailing or slandering about the National Peasant Party being part of the regime, I get surprised. Then I pose the question, if it was right and true that these new political players came into force to disorganize the political environment, then why would they now chew their own? Why did they have to take on Stacia Mayanja at that juncture where we needed her most? In fact, if we were not so much steadily having strong leaders within us, the party would have vanished there and then. But you saw, even at such a challenging hour, the National Peasant Party came up, collected its pieces, and came up to front candidates at all levels to to the extent that
Do you agree that you did not receive a public embrace from the onset? And what does that speak to you?
I may not say that. It is your own opinion, because me being the administrative leader of the party, I have a number of records and secrets toward the supporters. Why would you say that we did not get a public embrace when we got a percentage that welcomed to us in the political space?
Well, Dr. Walyemera, how do you weigh in on the reservations and the optimism that greeted the new formations, plus the timing?
Okay, the first point, normative point, is that is that citizens of Uganda have a right to form associations, and those associations include political associations. So you cannot take it away from Ugandans if towards a general election they then form new political parties. On the other hand, you could say, considering those parties that split off from the so-called main political parties in Uganda, you could say that somebody in power, somebody within the intelligence services was attempting to chip at the support of the leading opposition party, which is the National Unity Platform. And we see that some of those splinter groups indeed had heavy names. People like Mpuga, Dr. Baganika, who else? There were a couple of them. But what was the effect of that in the general election? You can see that between those splinter political parties, you only have about 18 MPs. Still, the attempt to chip away at NUP's support, yes, there was a partial success, because in the 2021 election, they were at about 35%. They had a lot more MPs. In this 2026 election, they have about 49 or to 50 MPs. They have reduced, the percentage has reduced. Even at presidential level, the percentage of NUP reduced from 35% to about 25%. So you could say, partially, the person who was thinking that we can chip away at the support of National Unity Platform succeeded, to the extent that the support of NUP was reduced by about 10%.
So how smart was the experiment in itself?
Yes, as I've indicated, whoever was doing that political strategy then partially succeeded, to the extent that the number of MPs for the largest opposition party in parliament reduced, the percentage, the winning percentage for NUP reduced by 10%. That of NRM actually increased from about 50% to 71%. So you could say that person partially succeeded in their political strategy of reducing the support of the largest opposition party at presidential level by 10%, and even reducing the number of MPs. But still, they failed, that their strategy failed, to the extent that the National Unity Platform is still the largest opposition political party.
So the gamble, in a way, didn't work?
It did not work. It worked to an extent, as I indicate.
Okay. Do you still question the spirit under which these parties arose, or it was more to do with the internal strife that was happening within the political parties that forced these people out? And I'll give you an example of PFF. Mm-hmm. There's PFF, there's DF.
Yes.
These are splinter groups.
From FDC.
From FDC, mm-hmm. and the PL and the National Unity Platform.
Yes.
There was discontent about what was happening. Mm-hmm. Do you want to say that perhaps these parties have retreated, to reorganize, or we should write them off?
Let's take an example of DF. They had quite experienced big name people going out for elections. You saw what came through. They had so many MPs, they got none. Candidates for MPs, they got none. So one of the other elements, apart from obviously the calculations that those who have power make, is that within Ugandan political parties and African political parties generally, is usually have one big man. If it's the FDC, it's Kizza Besigye. If it's NUP, it's Bobby Wine, who comes with his clout from being a celebrity musician and that kind of thing. Or somebody who is a historical from the bush, fought in the armed struggle, and then forms a political party. So then you have this one big man who moves with the institution. You could say that's a real challenge. Now, if that one big man moves away from the political party or moves to exile like we've seen with NUP, then you're going to have challenges. Or if that one big man senses that there are people who are not in support of him, then you're going to have factions being created, and those factions then eventually lead to these splitter groups. And obviously, those who are in power and the intelligence services are watching, and they'll ensure that then those splits are magnified by, for example, financing and sponsoring these splitter groups and factions. And we're hoping that what happened to the FDC, which then led to the splinter groups, is soon not going to happen to NUP.
Are these new formations any force to contend with in the current political setting?
Not really. Not really, because the current political environment. Let me give you an example of the National Unity Platform. So if the strategy was to reduce the support of the National Unity Platform before the election, which was partially successful, however, that partial success was not a success to the extent that NUP is still the leading opposition party. And consequently, you've seen many of its supporters, many of its party officials run into exile, including its own party president. So if that is the challenge that we have, if that's the environment within which an opposition political party operates, then you're going to have real challenges with that opposition party acting as a check and balance against the ruling political party. And eventually that affects our multi-party political system.
Thank you. There is this notion, Mr. Nambale, that you served your purpose and the mission ended. How do you contend with the fact that the opposition rejected you in the first place? The bigger opposition looked at you as state agents who are out to reduce the numbers.
You see, Simon, we have been in politics more so together with you in the Democratic Party before. There are reasons why...
I hope this is not blackmail.
No, it is not blackmail. Of course, I have known you for some good time. You have known me for a good time.
True.
Many political parties, what people, my brothers called factions, that were put on the scene towards the elections of 2026, are being led by senior political leaders. When you talk about the National Peasant Party, and you come across Nambale, you will know that this is a man who has been here for seasons of politics. When you go to PFF, you cannot claim that the Right Honorable Kwago, the same Jew, and others have not been players on the scene. Even when we go to Common Man's party, The Right Honorable Mubarak Munyagwa was a senior player to the extent that he was even a legislator in the parliament and other political parties. I will not forget that of Honorable Kwago, the ecological party. There are reasons why people, yes, there are reasons why we decided to form associations which we believe in. There is only one problem that Ugandans must understand. When the regime overstays in power, people hate. People, Ugandans have reached an extent of hating the regime so much, to the extent that even where they need to prevail their own rights, they will not make decisions independently. They will only use emotions. Now, how did the National Peasant Party come on the scene?
Yeah. And how were you treated as a joke?
Of course, I will not say that I have ever registered anywhere that the National Peasant Party was registered as a joke. Because, one, the Constitution mandates Ugandans to have a multi-party system. And this is why National Peasant Party is one of the political parties that were registered in 2004. When we got political disagreements with our senior political older parties, because everyone knows that I was a member of DP, I decided to form we decided to converge as political players that were not certified or satisfied with the cooperation agreement of Norbert Mao. And we decided to form another political force. This is why we came to existence as National Peasants Party. This is a political party that has existed for very many years.
But look, what makes your outfit very suspicious? Even the presidential candidate that you fronted had earlier been an NRM activist, and he had pinned posters of
MP
from Suju,
yes,
on the NRM ticket. That more or less made you either a joke or a conduit of political interests.
But I was also a member of DP. The following day, we became a member of NPP. Mr. Lukwago was a member of FDC. The following day, he became a member of PFF. The Right Honorable Robert Chagulanyi was a member of DP. He became NUP. Mr. Lubongwe was an NRM. He became NUP. Aisha Kabanda was NRM. Kakongoliro. She became NUP. So, where is the difference? There are always doors of free entry and free exit.
Okay, do you get offended when you're called jokers on the scene?
Of course, why would I be offended when we are not? Why would I? And who tells you that we are jokers?
How serious are you?
You just give it space. It is just time to determine. Because what we are cooking inside is also not easy.
Dr. Walyemera, are these groups anything to watch?
To the extent that they have a right to associate politically, yes. Because, I mean, they are citizens of Uganda. They have a right to form these political parties.
Yeah, but are they consequential to the political equation?
Why not?
I was going to the other side. To the extent that they are citizens of Uganda and that they have a right to form political parties, and they are consequential. To the extent that they can win seats, whether at the local or central level, that is out there. It's a reality. It can be tested. So you can say, for example, how many seats does NEED have, how many seats does DF have, whether at local council level or at MP level, or did they contest for a presidential election? What was their percentage at the presidential election? So that's very much easier to tell. and in my humble view, they will need to reorganize for them to be significant in the political space.
Yeah, but along the way, do you feel you can bring them to the table of the opposition in the discussion? If there was anything tenable?
Yes, to the extent that the legal political formations that are registered with the Electoral Commission. To the extent that those who are in the opposition want to work with them, I doubt. Because as you've indicated already, some of them, it is argued, have been sponsored by those who are in power to create the confusion that's available now. So even the levels of trust, the levels of likely cooperation are hindered by that. Because, I mean, how are you going to then combine with somebody who you think is working with?
If you are to give them a benefit of doubt, what would spur, what would help them to grow under the current dispensation?
I think what would help them to grow is, because in the previous general elections, you've had opposition formations. During Samuel Gerere's time in 1996, you saw an opposition formation. After that, you saw the inter-party cooperation. So if you have these splinter groups, which are small parties, which do not have any significant or have small bases of support, what you do is then you combine those parties into coalitions. And you've seen that in Europe, for example, in the Scandinavian countries, when political parties are really, when they do not have that significant support from the masses, from the citizens, what they do is then they combine into a coalition.
Of the minority?
A coalition, whatever you want to call it. That coalition then forms a political agenda, which agenda is presented to the citizens. So that's one of the ways in which the smaller splinter political parties can make significant inroads into the political space by having a joint political agenda, which then they take out to the masses.
Well, if you are to be considered as relevant and as a formidable outfit, is cooperating with the already existing traditional and more formidable forces on your cards? Parties like NUP?
But to tell you the truth, Mr. Simon, the National Peasant Party is one of the parties that is doing well in cooperating with the National Unity Platform. On very many instances, you have seen us coming up with supporting statements on issues that are being paraded and fronted by the National Unity Platform. We are not a party that, like I told you, the way how Ugandans are good at slandering, and it is built by existing leaders. But as time goes on, Ugandans will be rejuvenated from such calibers. That one I know.
How much benefit of doubt should the public give you?
Of course, it is about, they should give us time. And you see, when we are coming on the scene, we came at an evening time of an election. A lot of critique was done, but for us, we played our part. We went and fielded our candidate. We were never against any candidate of opposition. In fact, even when police used it to harass one of the presidential candidates, the Right Honorable Kyagulanyi, you saw the National Peasant Party could always come up with the strong statements against what police and other security agencies could do. So we want to request the Ugandans to give us time. The National Peasant Party is preparing itself. We are yet to come up with the National Delegates Conference, come up with substantive leaders. We were somewhere disorganized as we had just set off. our candidate, our president was bought up off by the regime. We came up with a statement as the organ of the party, the National Executive Committee, that the position of the president in the National Peasant Party has fallen vacant until when the delegates conference sits.
So you started off on a weak note.
That is what you could say. If we were weak, maybe the regime would not have come up to pick up our candidate. Strategically, politics is about strategy. If we had not been disorganized in one way or the other, you never know. In your intros, you said we had come up with a lot of vigor and excitement to the public, and in fact, the public had started looking at us as a formidable, reliable political party until when our leader was picked. And you see, being that
but you can't even divorce yourself from the strong belief out there that you're bidding for the regime. No wonder you even had to go to court to lodge a petition, which you later withdrew
but
under circumstances that remain questionable. And word out there is that you were out to legitimize the election.
But this is not the first petition to be withdrawn. Even in 2021, NUP withdrew a petition. Even us withdrew a petition on elements that are easily understood by even a younger personnel in the field. Because when I tell you that for us we had looked at the legal perspective, whether the electoral commission had followed the law, we came up to file the petition and an application seeking for disclosure of 15,000 polling stations. 2, there is a presumption that these 15,000 polling stations that were used in this election, for us as political parties, did not know them. Because once something is not gazetted in law, it is not a polling station. That is a senior counsel. But in the course of the petition, you know the costs could not be favorable on the National Peasant Party. In fact, we even wrote to the National Unity Platform a letter requesting them to aid us with the funds. Everyone in Uganda knows that the funding for National Unity Platform was blocked because there is no any other source whereby a political party can now access money other than iPod fee. iPod refused to pay National Unity Platform its legitimate, lawful fund that is supposed to benefit. And when we were told that, we had no other alternative of getting money. If we were granted that order by court, ask that legal counsel. In court, they only need expert witness. If we were to get affidavits for each expert on each polling station or on each server, for 15,000 servers, how much did we need?
So every attempt you've made so far has hit a dead end. What is keeping you busy now?
We are planning back to the scene. Of course, even in the...
Who are you planning with?
We are a team. National Peasant Party is a party under the register of Electoral Commission. It is number 9 on the political parties registered in Uganda. So, as a lawful registered entity, we are having a number of businesses that we are carrying out within our system. This is a constitutional party. Like I told you, we are going to have a delegates conference soon, come up with the substantive leaders from the grassroots to the national level. And we shall start business there.
As we take a very short break, today we have a litany of political parties. Are they just parted to the political mischief, or they are entities that the country should be looking at?
The procedure for registering a political party is clearly laid out. and it's quite rigorous for you to register a political party. I must tell you, Mr. Anjala.
You've been through it.
I've been in politics and I've helped, as a lawyer, I've helped colleagues to try to register political parties. It's very rigorous stuff. For example, let me just give you one. You must have at least a minimum of 100 signatures from each district. And it's not, you can't play around with them because they have to be verified by the legal department of the Electoral Commission. That alone is prohibitive for any political party. So it's a very cumbersome process.
So how they jumped that hurdle alone is questionable.
Obviously, as I've indicated, the Electoral Commission has to verify each of those 100 signatures from each of the districts that the political party has picked them from. So the process is very rigorous. But as to whether after registration, this political party then has any political clout, that's for some other day. For example, you've seen political parties, for example, in South Africa, have been formed today, and tomorrow they are the third or second largest party. The former president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, formed a party within months. The political party is like the third or second biggest, no, not second, third biggest opposition political party. So the fact that the political party has just been registered does not mean that that political party will not have support. Also, the fact that that political party has heavyweights does not mean that eventually that translates into political support on the ground by citizens coming to support it. There are various factors that may enable a political party to immediately become a serious political party with support on the ground. For example, if one or several of the so-called stars, big names, leave a political party that is already established and form a new political formation, that can bring the support that those people have from, for example, their constituencies into the new political formation. However, we have seen from experience that it can also work the other way. We have seen from the Democratic Front that people like Mpuga, people like Mavike, who else? These are people who have been in politics for the last 15, 20 years. But you saw that they got nothing. They did not get an MP seat. So it's quite a complex...
Well, we'll take a very short break. Definitely, my big highlight at the height of the new formations was the Lusania. Do we still have more pieces to partake of? We'll be back.
Hey, travelers! Are you a family gearing up for that big vacation, a hustler working abroad coming home, or your squad chasing sunsets and passport stamps? It's time you lock in. Say goodbye to long airport queues, shocking roaming bills, and the stress of hunting for local SIM cards, because now you can travel like a local. Stay connected in over 180 countries. Just scan, tap, and boom! Instant data the moment you reach your destination. Get your Rogue Travel eSIM today at travel.roguetelcom.co.ug. Contact us on 020-5000123.
This is not just a run. This is a movement with purpose. Join Join us on 30th August 2026 at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds for the Cancer Run 2026, starting at 6 a.m. Also taking place simultaneously in other districts across Uganda for the completion of the One-Stop Cancer Center at Nsambya Hospital. Registration is only 30,000 Ugandan shillings online using Gonza Pay. Gates are available at all Centenary Bank branches, Capital Shoppers outlets, Bread House branches, the Cancer Run office on Zimwa Road, Muyenga, the Rotary Uganda office at Nick Building, and Rotary clubs across the country. The Rotary Cancer Run 2026 is organized in partnership with the Parliament of Uganda, Centenary Bank, Crystal Water, and
Envious Sport, championing Ugandan sport.
Did you know? Brought to you by
Fake spare parts can be deceiving. They seem cheaper, they seem good enough, they get you moving for now. But what you don't see is the hidden cost, damage to your car, endless repairs, wasted time off the road, and potential risk to lives. In the long run, fake parts cost you more. Choose genuine parts from any CFA or mobility location countrywide.
Did you know? Brought to you by
Are you planning an event? Think of X Events. For the best photography and videography of all kinds, we believe that every moment is worth capturing. Whether Kwanjula, weddings, Kuhinjira, bringing out the culture and glamour. And of course, a professional team that has mastered the art of the game and progea with elegance. X Events is located along Rubaga Road on Access Building opposite Hotel Sojavalo. X Events, capturing your precious moments.
Slow melting, smooth coating, long lasting. Stand a chance to win your share of 17.5 million shillings in prizes. Buy any Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate, scan the QR code or WhatsApp hi. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone. T's and C's apply.
Start something new, something uplifting, something so effortless and golden. A thirst-quenching burst of sweetness and malty flavor, so rich and full of memories. It's 100% taste, zero alcohol. Try it, savor it, feel it elevate every moment. Sip after sip, gulp after gulp. After all, life's about turning ordinary thrills into golden chills.
Start something malty with the new Evervest Malt Apple and Pineapple. Try the burst of sweetness and malty flavor. It's 100% taste, zero alcohol. Available in a shop or supermarket near you. Evervest Malt. Make every moment golden. Evervest Malt is from the makers of PepsiCo.
18 schools, one stage. Only the sharpest minds survive.
Who led to the rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem?
Joshua.
That's not correct.
Group stage weeds out the weak. Quarterfinals raise the stakes.
Let's go.
Only 6 make it to the semis and just 2 fight for the trophy. Every round, someone's dream ends. Every question, a school's legacy is written.
What Old Testament prophet was told to marry a prostitute?
Inter-Schools Bible Quiz Challenge coming soon on MTN TV.
Welcome back as we continue asking whether the new formations that came at the height of the 2026 presidential and parliamentary elections suffered a stillbirth, or could they be underground building base to become more formidable forces for the future of Uganda's multi-party politics? Well, Mr. Nambali, for the little time that you've been around, what are some of the realities that you've discovered about political parties?
One, a political party is a very challenging entity to run. Of course, with the disunity of politicians in Uganda, they play a very big role of disorganizing the voters. Initially, people were in FDC, others were in NUP, others were in UPC, but respectively could subscribe to where they belong. This time around, there is a slogan where you are not with them, you are an enemy. You understand? You are either supposed to be with them or with them. So this is creating a very bad image in building democracy. Two, in a situation where we claim to be building democracy and we are against the rule of law, because under the mandate of, I think, Objective 2 of the 1995 Constitution, it prevails that all political parties and other civic organizations must run their business through a democratic principle. But now, it is a rubber-dubber style in play in Uganda. In fact, there are reasons as to why we are likely to have even more splits. We are likely to have a number of other splits from other existing political parties. Why? Because we are not respecting the rule of law. You see, political parties have got a statute that governs them. Whenever you are to run a political parties, you must follow the law. I remember when me and you were in DP, we were always embraced with our small constitution. That pocket constitution, that every 5 years you were expecting to go into at least a village delegates conference. Here in Uganda, it becomes normal these days. You cause a decision on who is going to be a flag bearer without any documentation followed, which is bad. Two, like I said, running a political party is now a very big hurdle to handle. Managing, last month, but one, we got a notification that all political parties must have fully furnished gazetted offices. It was my surprise. The process of gazetting an office in Uganda here goes up to 1 million and above. You understand? Mm-hmm. Because a political party registered through the lawful means is a stakeholder with the Electoral Commission. When you are to gazette it, of course this money is going to be put on the consolidated fund. We always, as political parties, file a number of returns with the Electoral Commission. Those are resources that are collected within the members of the party. Of course, as for the climate politically in Uganda, if you are not rigid enough to remain on what you want, you may easily throw the towel down. When you go to the masses, already you have already been slandered or defamed that you are now, these other political parties are working in line with the government. Okay? Now, my question is, you saw what has been happening a few months back when we went to the general elections, where a member of parliament was almost the fourth or fifth. He or she becomes a winner forcefully. You see, and then you pick a candidate who has obtained the biggest number of votes, being given hit and thrown out of the declaration room. Now, the question is, if we were part of the regime and we were working in favor of the regime, because currently all secretary generals of parties that have obtained a numerical strength in the parliament and the presidents of parties that have also got are going to have are going to be given cars that are worth 800 millions. At least Mr. Museveni could have rewarded the people who have worked for him this time around with at least one member of what? Parliament. That is I would presume that so. If we were working for President Museveni, at least me, number as you see me, I wouldn't be driving such an old car by now. I would be expectant that now, since I have a representative in Parliament, I am going to be given a car as maybe an indirect reward for coming to stand in for President Museveni. But now, you find ourselves, when you are to pay the party office, you look for money from colleagues that you believe in within your party.
Is it worth it at the end of the day? What are you looking for?
Of course, when you saw us living, when we read the history of Beni Chiwanuka. Beni Chiwanuka could put a bicycle in his Benz, Mercedes Benz, drive to Mbale. When he reaches a town of Mbale and he knows the Benz cannot go to that remote area, he removes his bicycle, rides to the rural areas to go and put structures on ground. Because he had the belief that putting an institution he believes in would make history in the future. It is why we grew up and admired the institution of DP.
Yeah, but here is the reality.
Yes.
You're lost both in the opposition and in the government.
Who?
So
Ben?
No. You as National Peasants Party.
You said what?
You say you're not loved at home. You're not loved within government.
I may not say that we are not loved. I am saying, covering a political space is also a hurdle. But when we were coming into a political multi-party system, I think the government did not do enough of civic education. It would have impacted a lot of funding to educate Ugandans to know their rights upon when electing or voting or making a decision on a leader lies.
Thank you. Do you still find political parties fashionable? 20 years since multi-partyism was promulgated.
Yes. Obviously, political parties are, you could say, training grounds for the leaders that you eventually see at the national level. Because without the political parties, then you do not have like a testing ground for leaders that eventually serve the country. So political parties are a necessary institution that trains leaders. Yes, ideally.
But realistically,
leaders that serve the nation.
Realistically?
We have challenges there. The ideal is there. The ideal is that this is a school that trains leaders that then eventually take up leadership positions at national level. However, we have a few challenges in there. For example, there are people who are coming in simply because they have seen some money that's available to be picked up. there are those who are coming in because they are working for those who do not want political party X, Y, Z to be as strong as it is, as robust as it is, which then obviously contradicts the whole essence of a multi-party system, which should have strong political parties. Because without strong political parties, you cannot have a strong multi-party system in the country.
Yeah, but do you realize that all political parties are now encumbered by the burden of trust, the crisis of trust?
Yes, the whole essence, and by the way, it's not just in Uganda here, everywhere. For example, the ANC in South Africa with Zuma, that was the same problem. The challenges between Ramaphosa and Zuma, and which eventually lead to Zuma splitting off and creating this very robust institution within a few months. But the whole essence of trust within a political party is not going to go away. Because, for example, the intelligence services are there to essentially do exactly that, to cause you to have suspicions of this person, of the other person, and to eventually split up. And if you take, for example, the example of Kenya, and you see how fast political parties are created and how fast those very political parties disintegrate, then that will tell you something.
Yeah, but do we have anything to learn from Kenya, for instance? I'm glad you've cited Kenya.
Yes, to the extent that a political party can be formed and a political party can be, can be gone in the next minute. And that's a right. As I've indicated, citizens of a country have a right to form a political association at any time they feel like, have a right to dissolve that political association at any time they feel like, as long as that political association is not serving the interests that it was formed for.
Okay.
Or if the opportunity has arose to create a better political association, then they dissolve this.
Do you look at the new formations as legit or gambles?
I think the new political associations, as I've indicated, the whole idea was to get to the leading opposition political party, and that partially succeeded because the leading opposition political party got less percentage in the presidential elections, got less MPs has got less MPs in the current parliament. However, we have to create a very strict criteria beyond what is there available now. If a citizen wants to create a political party. I remember I think 3, 4, 5 years back, the High Court deregistered 10 political parties for failure of those political parties to file annual returns. Something as basic as filing annual returns, those political parties had not done so. So we must create a robust enforcement mechanism within the Electoral Commission to ensure that we have serious political organizations and not simply opportunists and gamblers coming in to exploit situations for their own personal needs.
Mr. Nambale, how do you compare with outfits like the Alliance for National Transformation that seem to be going nowhere, just stuck?
I cannot say that it seems to go nowhere. You see, they have also had their challenges before, but they were consistent. When you are building a political party, you need to have a target.
So what's your target?
Of course, our target, first of all, is to have a stronger grassroots. That means we must have a strategic plan that by 2028, the National Peasant Party must have leaders in at least 90% of Uganda's jurisdiction. So, by 90% effectively having those grassroots structures everywhere, we shall know that next time come 2031, we must be having at least a representation of leaders on all levels.
Yeah, but I think you are quite overzealous. You launched in July, and by October you were hitting the ground with the presidential candidate.
Yes. There is no problem.
I think that's being either overzealous or suspiciously shrewd.
That would be your opinion. But for us, as National Peasant Party, it was a decision of the National Executive Committee and the National Delegates Conference that this time the National Peasant Party must front a presidential candidate. We must front members of parliament and local government leaders. That is what we tried to do. And for our observation, at least we have an impactful impact we made. We shall not say we did not hit anything. At least we reached out to the people. The National Peasant Party is now known. It is no longer in the briefcase as it was. It is now why NBS has a courtesy of inviting us.
Well, we can only continue this conversation online, and I want to thank you, Dr. Walyemera. Thank you very much, Mr. Nambale. The question remains, what became of the new formations that came at the height of the 2026 presidential election? Let's keep the conversation running on all our socials, and many thanks to all who are watching us on MTN TV by Afro Mobile. Have a lovely day and cheers.
Dr. Lawrence, Vice Chancellor of Victoria University. Right now, the world is being rewritten, and I want to show you exactly how. Artificial intelligence has already changed how we work, how we learn, and how we live. It's not coming, it's here. And the question every parent should be asking is your child's university moving with it or being left behind? Take education. This used to be the classroom. Chalkboards, rows of desks, one voice at the front of the room. Now, this is the classroom at Victoria University. AI tutors, real-time feedback, every student learning at the speed of their own brilliance. Healthcare is next. This is how diagnosis used to work. Slow, manual, guesswork. This is how our students train today. AI-powered diagnostics, simulation labs, predicting illness before symptoms even appears. This is the future of medicine, and it's being taught right here in Uganda. It doesn't stop there. The way we bank, the way we farm, the way we build, AI is quietly rewriting every single one. And East Africa cannot afford to watch from the sidelines. So if you're a parent and you want your son or daughter to lead, not follow, this new world, ask yourself, where should they be? At Victoria University, our students don't just learn about AI, they build with it every single day. Victoria University is not just adapting to the age of AI, we are leading it. The leading university in artificial intelligence in Uganda and across East Africa. The future is already being built. The only question is, will your child help build it? Victoria University, where Africa's AI future begins. Apply today.
Mommy! Wanje sabo.
Ugambotia. Wina kachi. Ha. Kagulinzi tekako. Teka kagulinzi. I want everything, eh?
Okay.
Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limit. Hey, Hemutieni Momo. Madam, remove the food. Put in more meat. Add the meat. Yes. Hey. Now, these are the fruits of paying your loan is in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial *165*5# to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice?
Yes.
Juice in me.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched, fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800-211-033 to get started.
The playground has moved. More than a third of Uganda is online now, and half the country is under 18. 1 in 5 Ugandan children face cyberbullying. Most never tell anyone. It can look like trolling, body shaming, even grooming. Different harm, same silence. Be a cyber hero. Protect a child online the way you would in person. Mute it, report it, check on them. A hero doesn't have to be big. They just have to do something. Be a cyber hero.
Remember the songs that made you sing, the moments that made you dance, the voice that captured a generation. Now, Grace Walyemera is back on stage. Join us for the Power of Grace live concert, a spectacular evening celebrating the music, the memories, the journey, and the incredible voice that has inspired audiences for years. Friday, 11th September 2026 at Kampala Serena Hotel. Early bird tickets 130,000 shillings, ordinary 150,000 shillings, and tables 3 million shillings. The Power of Grace concert is sponsored by
7 nations, 1 crown. Uganda hosts the first edition of Miss Tourism East Africa. On Saturday, 12th of September at the Kampala Marriott Hotel, witness the beauty, culture, and the spirit of Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Sudan, Burundi, and the Democratic Republic of Congo as they compete for the crown. Who will become the face of East Africa? Experience an unforgettable night of culture, unity, tourism, and transformation. Gates open at 5 p.m. Come support your country. Reserve your corporate table today for 3.5 million Uganda shillings or secure your VIP ticket for 200,000 from carrytickets.com. Miss Tourism East Africa 2026.
Powered by Next Media, EV Cab, UTB, Simbaland, Uganda Wildlife Authority, No End Entertainment, Ministry of East Africa Affairs, Ministry of Tourism, Vera Beauty and Fashion College of Kenya, Gorilla Tours, and Marriott Hotel Kampala.
Uganda is 64. 64 years of courage, resilience, dreams, progress, and a spirit that keeps moving forward. This independence season, Next Media puts Uganda front and center, celebrating our people, our culture, our places, and the stories that make us proud. With a reach of up to 60 million people across the region, we put that reach behind Uganda's story. From television and radio to digital and live independence experiences, we bring Uganda closer to you. And your brand can own this national moment through unique, tailor-made solutions designed for visibility, engagement, and impact. Call 0761 001 890 today. Be part of Uganda at 64.
You wanna make tasty food and sales. You want to do that dancing still. Candaling one no ya nai. Sika de buto one nai. Nailo akro ya sing. Sika de buto one nai. Candaling one no ya nai.
Cook better, sell better with Nile Healthy Cholesterol-Free Cooking Oil and non-sticky wheat flour. Nile, yenyabo.
MBS. Always.
The internet gives children access to communication, learning, and entertainment, but there's also room for risk like cyberbullying, scams, and online predators. Tonight on Tech Connect, we're exploring the Be a Cyber Hero campaign, where we're going to be looking at what organizations are doing to keep children safe online. My name is Tracy Ikovich. Let's get started. To kickstart the show, here are the latest happenings in the tech world. Here's Newsflash.
Huawei Technologies Uganda is set to hold a campus recruitment drive at Chambogo University tomorrow, Thursday, the 21st of August, targeting final year students and recent graduates from ICT, engineering, business, and other disciplines. The program aims to connect young graduates directly with industry, identify promising ICT talent, and create pathways to full-time employment and internship opportunities within the technology sector. Airtel Uganda has called for a national cyber resilience framework to strengthen Uganda's ability to prevent, detect, respond to, and recover from cyber attacks targeting critical infrastructure and essential services. The proposal includes mandatory information sharing, regular cross-sector cybersecurity drills, stronger protection of critical digital infrastructure, and a national coordination mechanism linking government, telecommunications, banking, and other key sectors. The call was made at the inaugural National Cybersecurity Conference organized by the Uganda Communications Commission, where stakeholders stressed the need for institutions to work together as digital systems become increasingly interconnected. OpenAI has launched ChatGPT for teens, introducing additional safety measures aimed at protecting younger users from harmful or developmentally inappropriate content. Age-appropriate protections will be enabled by default, while parents and guardians will have access to family tools that allow them to manage settings, receive safety notifications, and set quiet hours. The teen-focused version also aims to address concerns over AI-assisted cheating and promote learning rather than simply providing answers. Its study mode will guide students through problems step by step, while quizzes, learning visualizations, and homework reminders will encourage deeper understanding.
For many children, the internet is a part of everyday life. So how do we make sure that it's a safe space for them? Tonight, we're going to be looking at organizations looking to protect children online. Take a look.
Being a cyber hero is not just about knowing how to use technology. It is about understanding the digital world, making responsible choices, protecting yourself and others, and speaking up when something goes wrong. For children especially, being safe online requires more than simply telling them what not to do. It means giving them the knowledge, confidence, and support to navigate the digital world safely. So what does it really mean to be a cyber hero?
Being a cyber hero means, first of all, from a professional angle, that as an advocate, I need to advocate for the right laws that can govern cyber use in Uganda. Personally, and as a mother, it means that as we sit into these laws as advocates, I need to picture my children and how best these laws can serve not only my children, but the children in Uganda.
Being a cyber hero means that you're the kind of a person that is conscious of what is happening online and ensuring that the content we get and use is that moves us forward. Not that harms us, not that harms our children, but that makes us progress economically, socially, and politically, and otherwise. That's what I understand being a cyber hero.
But before we can protect children online, we need to understand what they are actually facing. Children today use the internet to learn, communicate, play, and express themselves. But the same platforms that create opportunities can also expose them to harassment, bullying, exploitation, inappropriate content, manipulation, and other forms of harm. And sometimes these experiences can happen without parents, teachers, or other adults even knowing. What is the online harm Ugandan children are experiencing the most?
The most common harm online I see is around sexual-based violence or harassment, and a lot of exposure to pornographic material for the children, nude pictures, videos, which are very age inappropriate. And of course, there is a lot of cyberbullying, which affects children in many ways. Mentally, it affects their confidence. Sometimes they even harm themselves because of the kind of harassment and bullying they are facing online.
So I know that young Ugandans, young people generally, are always online. There's excitement about being online, right? You text me, don't call me. That whole generation is happening now, right? But the thing about it is, if you are not careful about which site you are engaging with, especially sites that are asking you for money, whether it be you're trying to purchase something online, the moment you put in your account details, your account information, you're done. So you have to be very careful about the sites that you are using. It has to be a trusted site. Because the moment the money is taken, you'll never get that money back. You can try, but you put in your information yourself. You authenticated, so that money is gone. You accepted for that money to be taken. So you have to be careful about the site. Sometimes, just like you said, fraud is increasing. It's tricky things like they'll put a dot in the middle of the word Amazon. I think the biggest form of cybercrime today is cyberbullying. And this is majorly affiliated to children not understanding their rights as they engage or as they utilize, the cyberspace. They tend to expose themselves, so much to so many aspects, many avenues, out of ignorance, of course, but out of also the zeal to harness this space. So from there, you find a lot of cyberbullying happening. And this, in most cases, also exposes the children to other, detrimental avenues, such as, maybe being kidnapped, being abused, and all these are all aspects and elements of, just them being there without any guidance and without any kind of direction. And this really is one of those avenues and elements that expose them to this kind of detrimental vices.
Online harm doesn't always look the same. Sometimes it's visible, like cyberbullying or harassment. In other cases, the danger can be hidden, from scams to phishing to identity theft, malicious links, account takeovers, and attempts to manipulate children into sharing personal information or images. And as children become more connected, the digital threats they face continue to evolve. Now, what are some of the biggest digital threats parents and children need to be aware of today?
One of the biggest threats is the malice going on online, including pornography. So children have access to devices, therefore they have also access to internet as well. So there is limited restriction. So children expose themselves to pornography, they go into betting to get quick money. I think that's the biggest threat right now with the young children.
Knowing that online harm exists is one thing. Knowing what to do when a child actually experiences it is another. A child who has been bullied, threatened, exposed to inappropriate content, or targeted online may experience fear, shame, confusion, or even blame themselves for what happened. That is why the response matters. The first reaction from a parent, teacher, or other adult can determine whether a child feels safe enough to speak up or chooses to suffer in silence. So when a child has been harmed online, what do they actually need from the adults and institutions around them?
They need right now is one would be a guidance, because they need to know how, the benefits or the cons of being in the cyberspace and the disadvantages of being there. They need to be empowered with that information. But should they be exposed to the after effects of being there without knowing what they should be doing, they need counseling, they need love, and they need strategies to manage the aftermath. Because these children, most of them are young, they have a huge future, ahead of them. So when they don't have that kind of guidance, they don't have counseling, they don't have that direction, being empowered with what their rights are, so that they can be able to identify the difference between good and bad, the difference between, say, good individuals and not, what platforms and what avenues are actually good for them, at what age, should they be doing that. And also as parents to know how to actually protect the children, because the cyberspace is here today. We are moving in a very, versatile world, so you may not be able to, keep that away from them like it was in previous eras. But right now, even as parents need to know, how do we motivate our children to be there, but in a safe kind of environment and space. So children today need awareness. They need to be empowered with enough information related to their rights. And should they be victims of this cyber bullying or cyber side effects, they need counseling, they need love, they need attention, and strategies to bring them back to what they believe in and what they stand for.
One thing is abundantly clear. Protecting children is a collective effort. We're going for a short break, but we'll be right back.
Every story begins in silence. In a village, along a street, in the heart of a dreamer no one notices. Yet stories hold the remarkable power to inspire, transform, and shape the future. The Uganda Film Festival, UFF, is back under the theme Transformation, the Power of Local Stories, to boldly celebrate creativity and talent that transforms our nation. Starting 21st to 28th August, enjoy the latest Ugandan films in cinemas and select screening venues, and vote for your favorite films. Don't miss out on the transformational film workshops designed to inspire growth and creativity. Join us on 28th August to recognize, celebrate, and honor excellence in the film industry at the glamorous UFF Awards ceremony. For more information, call our toll-free number 0800 222 777, powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
August 2026 is here! And Yada for Life presents Mujatu Sinze 2026 Nsima Edition on Saturday 29th August 2026 at Imperial Royal Hotel with a lineup of heavenly voices and ministers. Are you grateful to God for what He has done and accomplished in your life? Do you have a reason to ultimately thank God for? Get your deluxe ticket for 30K, gold for 50K, platinum for 100K, and a table at 2 million. Doors open at 4 p.m. Buy your ticket at Unique Uniforms, Uganda House, and at House of Rest, former Fidodido. For bookings and reservations, call 0760-595-316 or 0708-766-536. Mujatu Sinze 2026 Nsima Edition, and proudly sponsored by Yuga Tunes, Afro Mobile, and Yuka TV, and NBS Music.
Too many ads? Expensive subscription? You deserve better. And artists, thousands of plays, but nothing to show for it. This ends now. Introducing Yuga Tunes, the new home of your favorite music on Afro Mobile. Listeners, stream your favorite songs ad-free at no cost. Artists, earn from every stream. Withdraw your royalties anytime from as low as 20,000 Uganda shillings. This is music that pays off. This is music that belongs to you. Yuga Tunes, your sound, your stage, your reward.
The world is going digital and creativity is no longer just a passion, it's a pathway. Next Creator is building dignified job opportunities for young people by turning creativity into real careers. It's about more than just content. It's about learning digital skills that lead to sustainable income, branding yourself with confidence, understanding influence and the digital economy. Next Creator equips young creators with the tools they need to grow, adapt and thrive in a fast-changing world. If you want to turn your ideas into opportunities, if you want to make creativity work for you, this is where you start. Next Creator, your skills, your future, your opportunity.
18 schools, one stage. Only the sharpest minds survive.
Who led to the rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem?
Joshua.
That's not correct.
Group stage weeds out the weak. Quarterfinals raise the stakes.
Let's go.
Only 6 make it to the semis and just 2 fight for the trophy. Every round, someone's dream ends. Every question, a school's legacy is written.
What Old Testament prophet was told to marry a prostitute?
Inter-Schools Bible Quiz Challenge coming soon on MTN TV.
Godoni kulava ekintu wakitandika mpola ng'odunda kamu bizinesi ogizimbye kati olowooza nkulaakulana kusuubuza bintu mu bungi bibuga bipya kati otuuse kati ekintu okizimba okyambusa ate ne Numida eri wamu naawe ekuwadde looni ezisingawo engeri y'okusasulamu nyangu nnyo ate nga ne ttiimu gy'olina ekkiririza mu birooto byo. Tuzimba buzimbi business, zimba omukululo. Tukwireko ku 0200 707 000 Numida munno mu birooto byo. Downloadinga app kati.
A very good morning. My name is Victoria Sabatani. Pleasure to be here with you on a Monday morning on the breakfast meeting. Now, many small businesses don't fail because the owner lacks ambition or even because there's no market. They fail because of cash flow problems, poor record keeping, borrowing mistakes, and also the challenge of separating business money from personal money. So this morning, we're talking about the habits, the decisions, and even the financial skills that help small businesses survive and also grow. What are the entrepreneurs getting wrong? When does borrowing make sense? And also, how can business owners build stronger, more resilient businesses in an increasingly challenging economy? Now, joining us this morning is Mr. Richard Otim, a business consultant with Numida. Good morning and welcome, Mr. Otim.
Yes, good morning, Victoria. Thank you for welcoming me.
Absolutely.
Good morning, our viewers.
Let's get to it. Let's get straight into the conversation here. And maybe let's start with what's on the ground, because you have a bit of a picture. You have a better picture than what we do as to what businesses are going through. But I want to touch a bit on more financial mistakes that many businesses make, especially when you're interacting with small business owners. What are the most common financial mistakes that you see happening right now when it comes to small businesses?
Thank you so much. So many small businesses in Africa are struggling, mainly because of cash flow. And some of the most common challenges small businesses face is kind of record keeping. Most of these businesses can't even assess how much profits they're making, basically because they lack records and they lack the financial discipline. They make so many abnormal business withdrawals cash withdrawals from the business.
By abnormal,
And
what do you mean? Like buying a car
like
with a...
overdrawing money from the business abnormally, and that affects the business performance. And by doing that, you're already scaling down the capital. And when the capital is not adequate enough, the businesses can't perform. And that's the reason why Numida came in. Because most of these small businesses can't even fulfill the requirements of commercial banks. And Numida saw this gap, and that's why we came in and said, okay, how can we bridge this gap?
Even before we get to talk even more extensively with the work that Numida does,
Yes.
I'd actually like to find out a little bit more as to the damage that these mistakes can cause when it comes to businesses. Like you're saying, that unusual withdrawals and some of those financial decisions that are not good for the business. Which one of those mistakes are the most damaging or the most dangerous to a business, in your opinion?
The most damaging problem most of these small businesses are affecting in their businesses is that this over-withdrawal of cash from the business for personal use. Because remember, these SMEs are operating within a slim amount of capital. They can't really afford to sustain some of those other business expenses adequately amidst conflicts, family conflicts. So because there's a lot of demand, and with this current situation of economy, most businesses are affected. So you find that these business owners overdraw money from their businesses to meet their domestic needs. And by doing that, this affects their operation capacity. And when you reduce your operation capacity, that means you can't perform normally. And that's why we come on to say these people must keep track of records so that they're able to know how much money is actually moving in and out. When they're able to track those records, they're able now to balance and prioritize those basic expenses that they really need to. Okay?
Yes.
So by doing that, we advise them to always try to minimize over-withdrawing. They should learn to pay themselves. Do you know so many SMEs are not paying themselves?
They're probably not, but there's also a lot of businesses that are busy. You find entrepreneurs that are saying, my business is busy, I'm busy, but I never get to see the money. I never get to see where the money is actually going. What happens in that case?
It's just lack of financial discipline. Because usually most small business owners assume that the business belongs to them. So they have all that opportunity and all that laxity to actually withdraw whatever money they can withdraw from the business. And because they don't have that financial discipline, they don't limit themselves on how much money should be used where. So, and because they lack this budget, because a budget is always very important. When a business operates under a specific budget line, there's always that regulation. But because they don't have the budget, they don't have records, they don't have the financial discipline, they end up messing up, and this affects business performance. And that's why so many SMEs collapse even before a year.
And so how does Numida then come in that case?
Well,
so Numida gets to help some of these small businesses, is that correct?
Thank you so much, Victoria. That's why we come on air like this, on NBS, to educate the masses, the business owners, and tell them they should maintain a positive cash flow. And how can they maintain this positive cash flow? They can access the Numida app. They should just download the Numida app from the Google Play Store. Then after downloading this app, follow the prompts, put in your request. With Numida, we scrapped off the issues of collateral, because we know small business owners lack collateral. The other thing is there's no guarantor, okay? And then we don't have paperwork at all. And then we don't have those long queues and procedures and processes that actually delay these SMEs to access funds. So we've reduced and said, okay, after you've downloaded the app, as long as you have a business and you have a workplace, download our app from the Google Play Store, access this app, follow the prompts, put in your request. In 24 hours, we give you a response. Money comes on your phone because basically ours is online. You don't need to visit us. We don't also need to visit you like other banks do. So, and the other thing that is unique with us, Victoria, is that Numida has that clientele relationship. We don't only use the app, but we attach it to a client, to one of our staff, who will walk the journey with you, give you that business advice, guide you. When you have any turbulence in the business, this person guides you and walks you through the journey. And our interest is to ensure that these small businesses grow.
So then how do you help business owners who are struggling currently to separate their personal finances and their business finances? Like you're saying with Numida, you get to see the money right on your phone. It comes straightly there. But there are some small business owners and entrepreneurs who struggle to separate what's personal and what's business. What is such a big issue with that, from what you see?
Yeah, what our viewers and small business owners should do, they should put a barrier between their personal and business issues. The moment you have a barrier between, you separate your personal needs from the business needs, then you begin prioritizing business needs more than the personal needs. That way you're beginning now to focus on business progress and success. And with that, we say, avoid multiple borrowing. Don't borrow from Numida, don't borrow from the other apps, don't borrow from other agencies. Focus on one borrowing agent. Focus on Numida. And know how much payment period, how long the payment period would actually take you. Okay? Usually we give between 30, 45, and 60 days. Because we don't demand any collateral, we don't do any paperwork, no guarantor required, no queuing up, no delays in 24 hours. Money is on your phone. Same applies to payment. You also pay via the phone. And by that, we are trying to simplify the life of these people, of the business owners, so that they're able to access these resources so that they can actually boost their businesses.
Okay, so how can people now start drawing the line, especially for businesses that are watching right now, are saying that we're a family-run business.
Okay.
And you're saying that, yes, focus on one lending institutions or one banking institution. And like you said with Numida, that's 30 to 60 days worth of repayments, right?
Yes.
So how can family-run businesses draw that line of separating personal finances and business finances and then eventually making sure that the business grows?
One is coming up with a budget. Have a monthly, you can start with a weekly budget. Follow the budget. If you can follow the budget line and you operate within your budget line, that already is a good start. And then the other thing is keep track of records. The app that we share with people, the Numida app has a record-keeping system within it. That helps these business owners to actually use the app to keep their daily income and expenses. The moment you can be able to track your daily income and expenses, that gives you the leeway to now begin planning ahead. And the other thing is, when you are trying to apply for a loan, ensure that you know how much money you require for your business. Each business has its own capacity to accommodate a certain amount of loan. With Numida, we give between 300,000 to 30 million Ugandan shillings.
But do you know a lot of people borrow money hoping that it solves all of their business problems? But how can an entrepreneur tell if they genuinely need the money, if they genuinely need that loan?
Of course, I've talked about having records. The moment you have records, you can assess how much income you generate weekly. That feeds into monthly and annually. So if you know how much you make daily, that gives you the ability to know how much money you may require. Because when you ask for 30 days to repay back, or 45 days, or 60 days, already you know the capacity and the income of your business on daily basis.
What's the key questions you think business owners should ask themselves before they apply for that loan?
One, how much do I need? And what do I need this money for? And what's the repayment period? Okay? So that gives you the ability to now know how much you can actually request for. Because the app we built as Numida, it sorts out itself within the system that any amount you insert in that you would like to request, actually the interest calculates itself to enable you assess whether you are able to pay that within the stipulated time. What I always advise people, always request for the loan amount that you can pay back without stress. Secondly, only borrow money that the business needs, and specifically what the business can also afford to pay back, so that you don't have stress. Because with Numida, we are trying to eliminate that element of stress. We don't want people to be stressed. That's why we come in and say, borrow money that you feel your business can afford to pay back. And then secondly, know the repayment time that you need. Do you need 30 days? Do you need 45 days? Do you need 60 days? When you actually get the right days, that gives you the opportunity to actually pay within the stipulated time. And with Numida, when you pay within the stipulated time, already you've built that working relationship. The moment you pay well in the first borrowing, that means in the next time you wouldn't wait for the 24 hours. Immediately you put in your request. You receive money on your mobile phone. And that also gives you the opportunity to increase the amount of money that Numida can actually offer you.
So show us an example, or give us an example of the kind of borrowing that helps a business and the kind of borrowing that brings stress, as you have said.
Yeah, one, multiple borrowing. So many Ugandans borrow from friends, they borrow from banks, they can use other opportunities of the app. They also borrow from mobile companies. You get it? So somebody has multiple debts. So amidst all that conflict, now you get confused which debt you should prioritize, because every arm of the borrowed money would request to be paid back. So my advice would be just focus on one borrowing agency, choose Numida as your choice, work with Numida, and let Numida support your business and see your growth. Absolutely. Because Numida doesn't stress you. That's why we've existed for the last 8 years. We've given money to over 800,000 Ugandans, and their businesses are moving on well.
As you've said that, you're trying to make it easier for your clients. For instance, you don't require collateral, and you're trying to reduce the stress for people. But who gets to qualify then for some of the loans that you offer at Numida?
Well, whoever has a business. We don't segregate any business. Do you have a business? Are you in poultry? Are you a mechanic? Do you have a garage? Do you have a salon? Are you a market vendor? Okay? These mamambogas here, they really need this money, because these are the people we are looking at. These are the people who can't actually afford to fulfill the requirements of commercial banks. And that's why we request them to subscribe with Numida. Come on board so that you are collateral free, you are guarantor free, no paperwork. In 24 hours, money would be on your phone. Same applies to payment. We allow people to pay in installments. Okay? As long as you ensure that the days you've requested, the repayment days you've requested, actually you fulfill them. That creates leeway for you to get other better opportunities. And Numida goes beyond that. Every year, we appreciate our clients who have superseded others. We call them, because here we don't interface with our clients, honestly. Yes. So people can't believe that somebody can give you money without even seeing you, without visiting you. But this is true. Yeah. It is true to believe, but it is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're looking at businesses right now, because the costs are rising, competition is also increasing quite a bit. Consumers are becoming more and more cautious, and even I guess some businesses or some entrepreneurs are becoming more and more risk averse. I'm not sure if they are or not, but what should small businesses do right now to remain resilient in the space that we're in?
One, they should know what they want. Two, they should focus on their business growth. Three, they should ensure that they maintain the financial discipline, because everything is centered on discipline. You see that's why so many salary earners are struggling, because they don't have the financial discipline. They believe that every month they'll be receiving that same amount. So they don't have that discipline. That's why when they are written off, they begin struggling. So my advice to small business owners, don't be like salary earners, okay? Try to have that financial discipline. Remember, this business that you are nurturing today, when it is well nurtured, well supported, well financed, using Numida loan, perhaps you may have better prospects. Your family will be happy, and your children will be able to go to school. And besides that, we also have now the children are back in holidays. And I know people are figuring out, how will these children go back to school? This is the right time. Download the Numida app now and subscribe with us. Follow the prompts, put in your requests, boost up the business capacity, buy those equipments that the business is lacking, pay off debts, pay off landlords, then try to move smoothly. And ensure that by the time these children go back, at least you've raised some little profit that can actually push them back. We also have a school fees package. For instance, if our client who subscribed with us is servicing a certain loan and it is time to go back to school, we usually have that conversation with them. We advise, okay, don't tamper with the capital that you already have. We can give you a small package on school fees so that these children can go back to school as the business also operates. So we try to support our clients in such a way that we advise them, we work with them, we relate with them, we continue talking, having that conversation with them. It's not just about the app, but it's about that relationship that we built. And that's what has kept us on board for the last 8 years.
Wow, 8 years is quite a bit. You said you have already served over 800,000 Ugandans altogether?
Yes, our vision is big. We believe that by 2030, we would have loved to serve 1 million Ugandans who will have benefited from our services, because our services are really good, friendly, and whoever has a business, I don't know whether there's any other obstacle, because the point is, do you have a business? We don't mind where you work from. Are you working from home? Do you have a workstation? Of course, we don't give money to mobile people, but we give people who have a specific workplace in the markets, in the garages, in the saloons. So as long as you have a business, you have the opportunity to actually access, get to download our app from the Google Play Store, and then follow the prompts, put in your request. And usually we focus on mostly how much this person is actually bringing in. Because, like I've said, we give between 300 to 30 million Ugandan shillings. But of course, I advise people not to just get excited and say, no, I think I should ask for 10. I think I should ask for 5. Don't just think. Try to measure up. Try to look at the capacity the business has. If the business has capital worth 5 million, 10 million, then that means you should actually measure up to actually get the loan that actually the business can afford. We usually focus on your sales and look at how much you spend, and then possibly we can also judge. That's why when, Victoria, you ask for 5 million and we give you 3.5, you should not be offended, because we've looked at this and we don't want to stress you. We want to have that natural growth with you. And that's the best advice we give people.
Absolutely. But finally, if you could give one advice to some entrepreneurs and business owners right now that they can adopt right now, financial habit that they can adopt right now, and it'll change their way of doing business. Okay,
1, they should borrow wisely. 2, they should borrow from credible organizations like Numida that has stood the test of time. You see, there are so many money sharks in the corridor, and people have been bruised. People have been affected so much by these other money sharks in the corridors. But Numida is legit. Try us today and see how best we can support you. Borrow money wisely. Borrow money wisely and borrow what the business requires, and use the loan also wisely for specific purposes of the business growth. Don't channel this money for personal benefits, but use it for business growth, and then avoid multiple borrowing. This will affect your performance, and also the way you pay back would be affected. So that's my basic advice to our clients, and I call upon everybody who hasn't yet got on board. This is true to believe, but it is very true. Join us, and you won't regret.
Thank you so much, Mr. Richard. That's Mr. Richard Otim, business consultant at Numida, sharing those insights in particular. And just finally, so anybody can just download the app, and then that's how they start their journey. Is there a phone number to call, or
yes, perhaps,
it's just directly the number?
I can share a phone number for those who have just joined us and have missed a lot. Perhaps, if you want to join us, we have a toll-free line. It is 0800 31 44 13. It's a toll-free. Please reach on us. And then we have also a WhatsApp line. You can send us a message, which is 0787 56 89 03. Reach on us. Visit us. We are found on plot 53 in Tinder Road 2. That's our head office. Please, our offices are open. You can physically visit us, but you can also reach us using these avenues, using the phone call, and also interact with our app. Go to Google Play Store, download our app today, and then follow the prompts, put in your request. In 24 hours, we shall have responded with you, with your request, and money will be on your phone, and you start your business. Payment, same thing. You can also pay using the app.
Well, that's Mr. Richard one more time, and thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, of course, for joining us. Let's take a quick break.
Godoni kulava ekintu wakitandika mpola ng'odunda kamu bizinesi ogizimbye kati olowooza nkulaakulana kusuubuza bintu mu bungi bibuga bipya kati otuuse kati ekintu okizimba okyambusa ate ne Numida eri wamu naawe ekuwadde looni ezisingawo engeri y'okusasulamu nyangu nnyo ate nga ne ttiimu gy'olina ekkiririza mu birooto byo. Tuzimba buzimbi business, zimba omukululo. Tukwireko ku 0200 707 000. Numida, munno mu birooto byo. Downloadinga app kati.
Abanyamusale n'abanyamukako muko w'amawuno aguse n'omwana w'omukalatinamu kimanja universe inembalala gatano Septemba 2026 kokuyingira kugenda kwa mutwalo vyepe emitwalo 2 golde emitwalo 5 ate platinum ya kakane ate ngambe tali kulanga kulala universe inembalala gatano Septemba 2026 yelini paso festival.
Mami!
Wanje sabo.
Ugamotia. Oina kachi. Ha. Kagulini ziteka ko. Teka kagulini. I want everything, eh? Okay. Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limit. Hey! Hemutieni momo. Madam, remove the food. Put more meat. Add the meat. Yes. Hey! Now, these are the fruits of paying your loans in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial *165*5# to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice?
Yes.
Juice in me.
Remember the songs that made you sing, the moments that made you dance, the voice that captured a generation. Now, Grace Walyemera is back on stage. Join us for the Power of Grace Live Concert, a spectacular evening celebrating the music, the memories, the journey, and the incredible voice that has inspired audiences for years. Friday, 11th September 2026 at Kampala Serena Hotel. Early bird tickets 130,000 shillings, ordinary 150,000 shillings, and tables 3 million shillings. The Power of Grace Concert is sponsored by
The playground has moved. More than a third of Uganda is online now, and half the country is under 18. 1 in 5 Ugandan children face cyberbullying. Most never tell anyone. It can look like trolling, body shaming, even grooming. Different harm, same silence. Be a cyber hero. Protect a child online the way you would in person. Mute it, report it, check on them. A hero doesn't have to be big. They just have to do something. Be a cyber hero.
Emiryango neza kuba yigwirwe twatandikira kushemererwa jishuka ngushigatirwa beshunguzi ba gospel bakunda abaratere nanga tukashashanuka ukutaha muri mitwaro leta VIP mitwaro 20 debos a miliyoni 3 hamwe na nitaneza bamazireyo kumanya bukitiraho tera 0 50 50 nkaga ninda bishagikirwe.
Hi, my name is Christopher Kugonza. I'm the Director of Program Development and Quality for Plan International Uganda. The most common harm online I see is around sexual-based violence or harassment, and a lot of exposure to pornographic material for the children, nude pictures, videos, which are very age inappropriate. And of course, there is a lot of cyberbullying, which affects children in many ways. Mentally, it affects their confidence. Sometimes they even harm themselves because of the kind of harassment and bullying they are facing online. Once children face or become victims of harm from online platforms, we need to look at the whole ecosystem of the child to make sure that we give them survivor-centered support to recover from those experiences. But also we need to continue engaging all the actors around the child, looking at the parents, at the family level, but also the community in general, to look at the protective environment within which they live. But the important thing is to also make sure that we are empowering the children, we are building their digital resilience, which helps them to navigate the online space, but also recover from these experiences when they happen.
Uganda is 64. 64 years of courage, resilience, dreams, progress, and a spirit that keeps moving forward. This independence season, Next Media puts Uganda front and center, celebrating our people, our culture, our places, and the storm. 890 today. Be part of Uganda at 64.
In the heart of Kampala, there is a place where every moment feels intentional.
Welcome to the Amin Pasha Hotel and Spa, a century of quiet elegance, timeless charm, and warm hospitality. From serene gardens to refined dining and peaceful stays, every experience is designed to help you slow down, reconnect, and unwind. Whether for business, a weekend escape, or a well-deserved pause, discover a different side of the city at the Amin Pasha Hotel and Spa.
Good morning and welcome back. You're still tuned in to the breakfast meeting with myself, Victoria Sibatani. Now, when many people think about art, they think about galleries. You think about paintings on walls that look probably intimidating. I think about art and I think about my background in art itself. But a growing number of creatives are trying to change the way people see art and the experiences that people have with art by creating experiences that bring artists and publics, or rather people like you and me, into the same room. Now this month, the Droop Canvas Open Studio returns to Kampala, bringing together artists, designers, performers, creative entrepreneurs, and art lovers for a day of exhibitions, conversations, as well as workshops and live creative experiences. Now, joining me this morning to have that conversation, tell us a little bit more about it, is Kiza Evans, who's the team lead and curator at Droop Canvas. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Let's get to it. I love talking art in particular because I am a creative as much as I look serious sometimes on television.
Yeah.
I love art and I love just what it represents, just the work of creatives, art in all forms.
Yeah.
And then comes Droop Canvas itself. Let's start there. What is Droop Canvas? What is it really about? And what was the gap that you're trying to fill in the creative space in Uganda?
Okay. So Droop Canvas is an agency for artists. So it's founded on the foundation of artists. So it's by artists for art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
but when you say artists, can you categorize what you mean by artists? Do you mean musicians or everyone across the board?
No. I mean like it cuts across. Mm-hmm. But initially it was for visual artists. But then we decided that we need to explore other forms of art, performing arts, poetry, you name it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the gap that we are trying to fill is we saw that there was a big gap between the consumers of art and the artists. So we wanted to bridge the gap through events, through exhibitions and other, things that can be done.
Mm-hmm. And so how do you do that? How do you practically bridge that gap?
Traditionally, artists need to be, were always in their studios, creating, and their aim is to reach the galleries. But artists forget that not everyone is going to be a gallery artist. Mm. Yeah. Some of them are going to always be commissioned artists, others are going to always be there, like they say, not everyone is designed to win. Mm-hmm. So here we are trying to, to create a platform so that before an artist gets to a gallery, before they get to a biennale, before they get to art fairs, they have to use Droop Canvas Open Studio as a playground. So they have to first, whenever you're going to showcase anywhere in a gallery, they ask you, where have you showcased? Where have you been? So this is like a playground for new emerging artists, mid-career artists to first come and get like an interaction, get feedback from the enthusiasts so that they can tell them, like from there, then they can move to the next steps.
Let's say I created some art and I had a couple of my own pieces and I just wanted to show up and showcase them. Is that possible or is there steps to take?
Yeah, no. There are steps to take because here we are trying to train them the professional way of approaching things. So we put out an open call. It runs for a month. Even right now there's one that is running. So they have to apply through the open call. Then the selection committee will sit down and select who is fit, who is able to to showcase. Mm-hmm. Then from there we shortlist them, and then they can be able to 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 come to the next step. Yes.
Now, so when you talk about the audiences, sometimes some audiences feel like they don't know how to connect with the art. Why do you think there's that disconnect sometimes? Like you're saying, you were trying to bridge the gap between the consumers of art and the artists. But now, why do you think that the consumers of art have stopped feeling so connected to art itself, outside of bands and musicians?
No. I think, you know, that's why we come in as group, because here we're trying to give the first approach to exhibition making, to consuming art again, because consumers always feel like they are left out. They always feel like they are, like, to get to an exhibition or to visit an art gallery, have to be some sort of, maybe some sort of identity, or maybe a kind of personality, to have some sort of personality to be to the gallery or the museum. But here at the group, we really try to give them that, you know, raw feeling, so that they can be able to, you know, experience that. Have I answered your question?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But when somebody hears open studio, what is it that they should be thinking? What is it that they should be expecting when they hear open studio?
Because we have, like I said, we have like a totally different approach to exhibition making. We didn't want to make it look so complicated. So open studio, like I said, artists are always in their studios creating. So at some point, they need to have, to come and showcase what they've been creating, because what's the meaning of creating art and not, you know, showcasing it? Yeah, so when open studio comes, it means artists, visual artists, performing artists, poets, singers, and enthusiasts can just come and blend in together and be themselves.
Are the creatives, the artists themselves, excited about such a thing? Because I think sometimes you can get artists that like to be in their little studio and corner and create from there and let the art speak for itself. But what do you say to artists?
No, I feel like from the past events that we have had, because we've been doing it for the past 2 years, we are in our 3rd year. So I feel like they're usually excited, because here you get to have honest feedback. You know, you get to have honest feedback about your work. You get to see people, you know, interacting with your work, to generate the content, because some of them do not know how to showcase. You get, so I think that's the most exciting part.
What's been some of the feedback that you've gotten from the artists that have showcased their work with you guys, and maybe first timers and those who are more experienced? What are some of the feedback that you've gotten from them about the experience they've had?
You know, most of these guys that exhibit at the open studio are usually first-time exhibitors. So usually it's like they're having an experience that never had. Because, like I said, everyone is always working towards being in a gallery, and, you know, there's a criteria to be selected for you to showcase in the gallery, or for getting gallery representation. So I feel like every time I've interacted with them, they have been like excited. Some of them have gotten opportunities to really exhibit in further spaces in Europe, in galleries there, because they have discovered them from the Drip Canvas Open Studio.
Now, when you think about these artists, are you saying that some of them have gone on to go to the UK to view, and other places, of course, I mean, to showcase their art? Do you think that from this platform, some of them can create sustainable careers?
Yes.
Have you ever had any artists that like, I'm not going to be doing art any longer after that?
No. Actually, most of them, if you don't sell, because in the art world, it's hard to sell on the opening day. On the opening day, it's usually people, you know, interacting with the work, you know, giving you feedback, you know, meeting fellow creatives. But people get to sell the work. They have created, you know, sustainable income. Because also from there, if you don't get to sell on the opening day, you at least have, you know, commissions coming in your way. So in that way, they have been able to create, like, you know, sustainability.
Yeah, because we are seeing a growing interest, of course, in the creative economy, if I should say. Especially in the past, I think, about 2 to 3 years, there's just been so much more talk about that creative economy. Do you think that people are beginning to take creativity more serious? Do you think that people are taking art more serious?
Yeah, of course, you know, the creative industry is the most motivated, and I think the underfunded industry as of now. Because of course, they always say, yeah, we are for the arts, we are for the what, but there is no opportunities for what? For them. So that's why people like us come, you know, when the system fails you, you create your own system. That's why you come up with events like this, with approaches like this that are going to, you know, help the creative industries like to rise. Yeah, but at least I've seen people, you know, trying to, you know, go all the way out, you know, fashion shows for the fashion. We have seen, you know, people trying to come up with different approaches, you know, to find a way of monetizing their art and trying to, you know.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that, you know, that brings people together, or just bringing community together, is community important in the creative space, in the art space for you, and especially with this?
Big, because anyone, actually, I encourage people that who come for the open studio, mostly artists, you know, creators, anyone. I think the most thing that I tell them is community. Community is important because these are the people that become your unpaid brand ambassadors. For us, even before the show comes, I already know, like, I have like 100+ people that are going to come for this show. This is a community that we've built right out from the start. So coming out, like, sometimes to create a community, you have to first join one. You have to join a community. So I encourage people like to come, start at Droop Canvas, start at Open Studio to build your communities, because that's how you're going to meet. That's how you're going to meet people that are going to take you to the next level.
Now let's talk to the Ugandans that will be showing up on the day. What about those, you know, people who are saying, "I'm not a collector. I don't know much about art."
Collecting.
How can they support local artists better?
This is a fast approach to exhibition, to art, people who are collecting work for the first time. Like, you can support in many ways, you know. You might come and, you know, engage these people. The first thing is like buying a ticket. If you buy a ticket to our show, you're already supporting, because there's so much, you know, logistics that goes into, like, you know, preparing an exhibition, you know, curating an exhibition. So, like, that is the first step of supporting. When you come and find these people, like, you can share their work, because we have internet. It's like the biggest tool that we have right now for free, that we can use for free. It's like, repost these people's work, you know, engage them, like, give them commissions. In anything that you can do for an artist, it really helps them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's talk about this upcoming edition, which is happening on Sunday, the 30th, correct?
Yes.
So what should people expect as soon as they walk in? And are you selling tickets, or can we just walk in for free? What's the deal? Tell us every detail that we
Initially, we're doing free events, because we're trying to show people what we do at the Open Studio, what art is about. You know, so I wanted to create, like, to sell the experience first. For the past 2 years, we've been doing free shows. You know, guys come see what we're doing. So at some point, it was being marketed as a paint and sip event. You know, but I tried to, you know, pivot people that it's more than just, you know, coming to a painting event. It's more than that. It's we wanted to create experiential. Yeah. So. We are selling tickets now. We eventually, you know, created a paywall, but at an affordable fee. 20K really is just, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's 20K, like, early bird, so people can, you know, pay to experience right away, from, like, the exhibition to the live performances, to come and also, like, you know, get to engage into the painting bit, you know, to try out some art, the vendor marketplace. Everyone is going to be there. So, like, it's trying to get, like, a 360 of, like, you know, of what an art show would be. Yes.
And when you're looking at the success, I guess, of Uganda's creative ecosystem 5 to 10 years from now, including when you the Open Studio altogether, where do you see it going?
At some point, because right now I get to say, I would say what we are doing right now is like an activation for the bigger event. Because eventually we want it to turn into, like, a 3-day event, or like a weekday, because, like, to become like a binale, to become like an art fair, you get, because we want it to be big. I want it to be recognizable everywhere. So we are working towards growing it into, like, a platform where everyone can really come and be a part of it across the region, not just Uganda, East Africa, because we already have, like, connects in Nairobi, in Kigali. We are trying to take the show there. So we want it to be, like, big enough so that we can be able to create like this disruption like in the creative industry.
Is this a family event, or are kids allowed? Or some people might be thinking, I have a kid who's an artist who's great, who's 14, maybe. Is this a family event, or is it specifically for adults?
This event is family friendly. Of course, I've been getting people messaging me, can we come with the kids and stuff? But then kids are allowed. It's family friendly because, you know, it's a calm event. This is not a place to come and, you know, jump around and do it. But parental guidance is highly advised because they have to be out of the event past like 5 p.m. After 5 p.m. we don't expect kids to be inside the event, so they will be leaving. But otherwise, because after that we are going to do grown people things, there are, you know, people are drinking, people are doing what, so
So where exactly is this going to be happening?
It's going to be happening at Emini Pasha on Sunday 30th August. And 12 p.m. up to 10 p.m. latest. But people always want to stay around, you know, and do it, but that is our time frame. So at 12 p.m. we shall be open, gates will be already open, and we can go on to the way.
And how can people get those tickets?
Tickets, you can go to carrytickets.com/open studio. That's where the early bird tickets are still selling right now, but it will upgrade, it will advance at the gate. So those who are getting tickets, they should get them right now.
And is there still room for artists to go ahead and come through and say they want to exhibit, or is the time over right now?
No, of course already the exhibiting artists are selected. Some amazing artists are going to be showcasing because, like I told you, already have an open call that is running. So those who can still want come to the event, they can come and do live demos, they can come with their own material, they can come with their own canvases and set up, because it's better to sell your art through creation, like live demos, than actually doing exhibiting art on the wall.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, you heard it right here for yourself with Kiza Evans, who's the team lead and curator at Droop Canvas. That is happening this Sunday, the 30th of August at Emin Pasha Hotel and Spa, bringing together art, culture, creativity, and even community in what promises to be something quite unique and interactive, an experience you might not want to miss, especially if you're so interested in art and artists and everything that they get to offer. Now, for myself, Victoria Sbatani, I have to love you and leave you. May the Lord bless you, keep you, make his face shine upon you. Be gracious to see you. Goodbye. God bless. Well, just before I let you go, of course, we have to get an update from the police and see what is happening security-wise. Hopefully you are keeping safe out there. Let's go straight to the headquarters.
Those who had the motorcycle number plates among these 44. We also had an operation on Old Kampala, in Old Kampala Police Division jurisdiction, particularly Musaja Alumbwa, Namungona, Wakasanke, Kawala, and the surrounding areas. Here we arrested 43. We also went for Njeru, in the Njeru police station jurisdiction area, that is Uyuke district. We got 8 of them. That is in the area of Kasanja, Namwezi, Nachibizi. These ones also were, some were found with the suspected marijuana and breaking implements. In Aswa West region, in the areas of Awita, Alengbori, Kole, this is in Lira City West. Those were also, we got 14 of them, and that was on the 21st of August. In Nabweru, that is Nansana municipality, in the areas of Kazo, Lugoba, and Bamboo. On the 22nd of August, we arrested 82 of them. A number of them, of course, also had exhibits. In Amuria district, that is in a Bukit Market, Alapai Village, on the 22nd of August. 14 were also arrested. In Entebbe Division, we carried out also an operation in Abaita Ababiri, in Katabi Town Council. We got 11. Kabalagala Division, that is KMP South, 8 were arrested on 22nd. That is in Makindye Division. Then yesterday, 35 were arrested in Gulu East Division. So the total goes to 359. So many other operations, of course, were also carried out, but we may not have captured them here. But we shall always be updating you that we shall continuously carry out these operations against these people, whether they have committed the offenses during or if they are suspected to be about to commit these offenses. Because sometimes some of them claim, I was found there and just arrested. No, they are people whom we arrest because of being in particular areas that are mapped out as crime spots. You are playing Matatu at 10 p.m. with suspected criminals. But maybe you are an engineer. Sometimes you find a fully-fledged engineer with a reasonable job. But at 10, he's with fellows whom on our blacklist are always smoking bangi and are highly suspected to be involved in crimes in our neighborhoods. We shall sweep you along with them. At the end of the day, when we do the screening, probably we shall find that you are innocent. But in the first place, you will come and tell us your side of the story. And that side of the story can only be told at the police station. Now, sometimes we have people who generate quarrels and arguments at crime scenes. Now, that is discouraged. Submit yourself to the police. Go to the station. Explain your part of the story. When you are found innocent, you will be let free. If you think that the junior officers do not understand you, there will always be a superior who will understand you. So that is one of the things we need always to encourage people to understand. Don't engage into an unreasonable quarrel with officers on ground. We'll go to the other issue. We kept briefing you about our progress when the sports club, I think, were 7? 4? Yes, I think there are other 2 who are going to be processed and taken. That's the brief I got today. Now, the purpose of coming here is to give you more details that in the course of the investigations, the manner in which devices are always channeled, and that is a network of individuals who buy, keep, sell, or conceal property whose ownership cannot be satisfactorily explained. So this illegal trade provides a ready market for the criminal gangs. Whereas we are looking at the murderers who were at the scene of crime. They are these individuals who do what I have explained here. They conceal, they provide the market. Some of them are watching us in these cameras. They are those arcades. When we arrested them, relatives came, what? Oh no, enough pressure, what? Release, bond. No. somebody lost a life because you conceal stolen items, some of which people lose lives before they reach your property. So my brothers and sisters in those cases, Mutasa Kafero, there are a number of them along in the CBD there. When we Cooper Complex, the day we learn to you in the course of these investigations, we will not be here today for you. And we shall have a long spell of time with you. So a number of them fell in this category. We are warning you and we send that message once again. Now, on top of that, there are suspects, and I will rename them. Ahumuza David, Lubega Martin, Segawa Francis, and Munguchi Elvis. These were in our processing. We discovered that they were linked even to other offenses. Like we told you that during the interrogation, we carried out a number of engagements and subject them to a number of tests. Now they had attacked a Congolese national. I may not give the names, but he's a doctor who was also hit with a blunt object. I don't know whether you had shared that info. And this person was equally injured. They snatched a phone and other properties around him. For him, he was hit a few hours before the late Owori was hit, and it was in the same vicinity. So these ones, on top of that one, they also have another name. Now, on 31st July, again we linked them to another crime scene of 31st July 2026. And these particularly are again Ahumuza David, Mugamba Arafat. This is the one. There is I will not give you the name of the victim. Let me delete it. Yes. There is a victim also who was also hit with a blunt object. And it also occurred in Makindye division. So these suspects, we have them. There are more others we are likely to arrest so that we disorganize this racket and similar rackets of this kind. Now, what we strongly caution is the public against buying phones or those gadgets that or whose origin is doubtful. You just go in there, somebody tells you he's selling a phone. Some of those items are sold cheaply on the illegal market, and like we have said, they are taken from victims of violent robberies. So, members of public should not buy electronic devices and valuables that are from suspected illegitimate dealers. We urge you to be suspicious of unusually cheap items. Don't rush for transactions and sellers who can't explain the sources of their items. We also call upon you to immediately report suspected stolen property or suspected dealers to the nearest police. Yeah, I think I will end there. Thank you. Thank you very much. Kale, ngenda kubadiramu mu Luganda. Nja kutandika ne story yaffe eya obuyonjo. Nti tubajjukiza nti Saturday eno ejja nga 29 lujja kuba lunaku lwa kuyonja mu ggwanga lyonna. So tuba twagala okubajjukiza kubanga tetwagala omuntu agambe temwankute offside. Ate senga mwatujjukiza. Nga bwe mumanyi obudde obwa ssaawa emu paka ssaawa 4 ez'okumakya bwe budde bwe tutakiririzaamu ebidduka byonna n'akagaali nako kali mu kategori y'ebidduka n'amaato kubanga waliwo abantu ababa basaabalira okuva ku kizinga ekimu okudda ku kirala. So twagala okubategeeza nti era tujja kuba tukoze deployments zaffe nga police okumakinga sure nti obudde obwo temuliimu kutambula wano na wali. Naye twagala okutegeeza nti waliwo abantu abatera okufuna exemptions. Oba exemptions ye kwegamba okubaddiramu oba okubattira eriiso. Kwe kuli emmotoka eziri mu emergency situations. Emmotoka eyinza okuba etwala omuntu afunye akabenje. Of course omuntu ajja kubuuza ate akabenje aba akafunya atya bw'aba abadde nga tatambula. Waliwo obubenje bwe bafunira ne mu mayumba. Abalwadde, abasawo tutegeeza abasawo ba doctor, qualified medical doctors n'abayambi baabwe. Because luli ng'ogenda nosanga omuntu akola ku ezikuba ebifaananyi x-ray. So nga babuuza nange owa x-ray bambalira mu basawo. Yes, nurse. So abo tujja kuba tubatira ku liiso. Then security officers abali ku mirimu gya security. Then mu security mwe muli ne private security ba askari abali ku duty. Then emotoka ezitambula okuva mawanga amalala nga zicrossinga ziyitamu zigenda mawanga amalala, cross border vehicular traffic. Naye tuba tugamba nti emotoka eva Kenya ng'egenda Kigali ate tetwetaaga ate kusanga mu kiwunya Inakulabye. Awo usually abasirikale bayinza okubuuza ebibuuzo ebirala. So maintain discipline ng'ogenda ku nguudo, ng'ogenda gy'olaga. Abalambuzi, omulambuzi avudde Germany aze mu Uganda agenda mu Queen Elizabeth, oyo tetuyinza ate kudda muteekamu mu kuyonja kwa programu yaffe. So ng'ebyo ebirala gye twagala jasa okwongerako, tetwagala kukaayana wakati wa basirikale ne bawanayinki. Bw'oba n'ensonga ekuluma gitambuze gitwale waggulu tulabe engeri gye tugiyingiramu. Amasimu gaffe twagabawa mugakozese bulungi. So ekyo kye kikwatagana ne ebyokuyonja ebigenda okubaawo Saturday eno. Abanamawulire, naye abanamawulire nabo bwe tugamba abanamawulire tutegeeza abanamawulire ekisooka abalina ebiboogerako ng'abanamawulire. Ekyokubiri abali ku mirimu. Yes, ndowooza ekyo kivuddeyo bulungi. Then ekiddako kyenjagala okwogerako, twakoze operations zaffe nga police mu wiiki eno eyawedde kuva nga 18. Operations zino zo zaabaddewo kuva 18 paka jjo nga 23, era nga twasobodde kukwatayo abantu 359 ng'era operations zino zaabadde mu bitundu bingi ng'ate twakoledde wamu ne minywani gyaffe oba security agencies endala mu security frameworks zaffe. Usually mwe muba intelligence, mwe muba UPDF, ne ba LOCs batuyambye kinene. Ba LOCs be mwalonda batandikiddewo emirimu gyabwe bulungi, ne ba vigilantes ku byalo, era nga mu areas za Bombo mu Savannah region, mu Bombo town, Buyego ne Mailo 21 twakuteyo batano, mu Kabalagala division mu bifo bya Katogo Gaba Trading Center twakuteyo 38, abo bonna nga twabakute ku 18th August. Embarara twakwatayo basatu, bano abaali batunda ebintu ebiragalalagala kumpi ne Shell petrol station ku luguudo lwa Mbarara Kampala road oba Masaka road. Mu Luweero mu katale ka Kasana nga 19th August awo twakwatayo 7. Then era 19th August mu Kabalagala Trading Center twakwatayo 10. Mu bitundu bya Zirobwe twakwatayo 7 ku 20th August. Mu Arua CBD awo twakwatayo 44. Then mu Old Kampala mu bitundu bya Musajja Lumbwa, Namungona, Wakasanke ne Kawala twakwatayo 43. Then mu wali abalala 30 be twakwata era mu bitundu byebimu. Then Njeru, Kasanja na Mwezi, Wampala ne Nakibizi twakwatayo 8. Then mu areas za Lira City West Division, mu Aswa West Region, mu bitundu bya Awita, Okole, Owita Cell, Amuka Ward eyo twakwatayo 14 nga biri mulumu era mu mwezi gwe gumu guno. Then twakuteyo abalala 82 mu bitundu bya Kazo, Lugoba ne Bambu, that is in Kampala Metropolitan North. Then mu district ya Muria mu bitundu bya Abuket, mu katale ka Abuket, Alapai village, Ajikai Cell eyo na twakuteyo 14. Mu Entebbe division twakuteyo 11, that is on the 22nd August. Era Kabalagala division twaddamu ne tukwatayo 8 mu bitundu bya Nsambya. Gulu mu Gulu East division, mu Gulu East division twakuteyo 35 jo nga 23 weekend yawedde. So total wamu ye 359. Naye nga kyetwagala okutegeeza abantu, yes tukwata waliwo abamu abavaawo nga bwe tuba interrogatinga, yes tubasanga nga tebalina misango, so abamu tubata, abantu tubatwala mu kooti. Ate usually kyetutera okusaba teams zaffe bwe ziba zikola ebikwekweto bino tetwagala nyombo, kubanga mwe muva incidents ezo zowulira ate omusirikale yakubye omuntu esasi, submit to police, genda ku police station, bwe bakuinterrogating ne basanga nga toyina musango bakulekula, then netwongerayo bali betusanze n'emisango mu kooti. Ate ekirala mu interrogations ezo waliwo betusanga nga bayina emisango emirala. Kyovola batubalaze nti tukola interrogations nga police ne tusanga abantu nga bayina emisango emirala. Kanzire ku story endala eno ekwatagana ne updates ku okutibwa kwa omunamizanyi wa sports club Villa captain webatta webali bayita Owori nga bwe mujjukira nti nga 4 August tulina abantu betwatwala mu kooti olw'okutemula captain wa Villa Owori bamutemula nga 4 August so far poliisi yakwatako abantu 7 abaali bakola abaali benyigidde mu bintu bino aba mu kutemula kuno. Twagenze okuzuula nga mu bantu bano mulimu n'abo abaali benyigidde mu misango emirala ogutali guno gwokka. Kati nga twagenze okusanga nga Ahumuza David, Lubega Martin, Segawa Francis ne Munguchi Elvis nga bano bo ku lunaku lwe lumu lwe batemulirako Owori essaawa ezasooka maaso awo balumba omukongo nga dokita ne bamutuusako obulabe era nga naye bamubbako essimu n'ebintu ebirala ebyali bimwetolodde ebintu bye. Then Ahumuza David ne Magumba Arafat bano bo twagenda okukola okunoonyereza ne tusanga nga 31 July baali bazaawo omusango ku muntu omwera erinnya lye tutajja kubawa for purposes of privacy naye nga n'ogwo omusango fayiro yagwo tugiina era nga nabo bajja kwewozaako ku musango ogwo. Naye nga kyetwagala okuddamu okubuulira abantu banaye muve ku kintu ekyokugula amasimu ne electronics ze mulaba nti zirimu okubuusabuusa. N'ekirala twagala okusindika okulabula abantu abo abatunda ebibbe mu arcades mu kibuga awo makati. Tujja kusigala nga tubakolamu operations ezo ate zijja of course nga bwe tubadde tulaba wano buli bwe tubakolamu operations mudduka ku police stations zaffe nga munoonya zi police bond. Mugezeeko nnyo okwewala okutunda oba okugula ebintu ebibbe kubanga ebintu bino ebibbe ebimu biba bigendeddemu obulamu bw'abantu. And bwe tubakwasa omukono gw'ekyuma then ne mukuba enduulu. So twagala okubalabula arcades Mutasa Kafero, where are those arcades around downtown? Tujja kujja era operations zikyagenda mu maaso. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Okay, I think let's have some few questions and then we. Kantandike ne ndugu. Okay, omulala, yes. Okay. Okay, omulala, yes ndugu.
Minister wa presidency yavana communication ngati
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Pardon?
The Bunga incident.
Bunga incident.
Then two, there is also another lady who was allegedly murdered by the best friend, the lady called Georgia. I don't know if you have that information.
Okay. We can go with those. Do you have? Oh, perfect. Kari, let me. Now, maybe, but what I would like to say, there are areas where I don't have information, so I may not give an explanation at the moment. Like for instance, somebody has asked about investigations going on in respect to the former speaker. By the time I came to before you today, I had not got any updates. So I may not be in position to also update you, just like though I'm not updated. Then the other issue is about somebody has talked about those who have functions like weddings and giveaways and those other kind of functions on the 29th. Between the 29th and between 7 a.m., those hours are frozen for movements. Immediately after 10, we release and we open up. Now, as a security, unless it skipped me, but we have not yet got any guidance other than as to whether, as to this, that there are exemptions. There are no exemptions at the moment, but if they arise, then we shall inform you. The second one is about Seventh-day Adventists. Similarly, I'm going to gather more information about them, then maybe we shall make clarifications. The other issue is about the bars and the ministerial directive from the Minister of Local Government about the opening of bars not earlier than 3 p.m. I will need to get more information about the operationalization of the ministerial directive. Then we shall get back to you. So I'll get more and a clearer picture on how the operationalization is or is going to be. Ndugu Owora, you have raised a very pertinent issue. Actually, all these issues are things that I really need to give back as feedback. Yeah, there is of course a discrepancy. A doctor may not have a car, but is traveling by public means, and particularly a boda. And the boda rider is not exempted. It could even have been a taxi. For you have brought it from the perspective of a boda. But me, now let me bring it from the other perspective. Could even be a taxi, but the taxi is also not exempted. I think for now, let's go by what the directive is saying. It is the doctor who is exempted, but not the means of transport. If the directive considers that one, for us as police, we shall come and inform you and enforce within the limits of the directive. So, Ndugo, I know you have a very good idea, but me and you, we are not going to sit in this boardroom and make amendments. So I am going to convey your message, sir. Thank you for this observation. Then the last two issues, which is the issue about the Bunga incident, the murder, Nugukawala, you have a brief about, you will brief the public about it. Then also this other matter they have talked about of by or involving one Jovia. Yes. Maybe okubadiramu mu Luganda waliwo abuuziza ku investigations zikwata ku the former speaker Madam Honorable Anita Monk. Mbadde siinako updates zonna, so maybe whenever nfunye updates nange bwenaaba updatinga naye nga leero mbadde siina update yonna. Then waliwo abuuziza ku kwanjula abantu abalina emikolo ng'okwanjula weddings ku lunaku luno olw'okwera. Although of course kyova tubalabula nga bukyali nti kati buli muntu at least amanyi nti buli Saturday esembayo ey'omwezi wabeerawo ki. So bw'oba ogenda okusaba omuwala ne bakuwa olunaku olukontana neki kiringa senga bakuwa olunaku lwa Monday era obabuulira abako oba bago nti Monday nja kuba ndi ku press conference. So similarly bwe bakuwa olunaku lwa olukontana n'okulongoosa mubasabe nga bongezeeyo. So I think that at least kati tuyina ekifaananyi. So ndugu, that's what we would encourage abantu muleke okuteeka ennaku z'emikolo ku lunaku luno, naye ate ekirala mumanye nti luno olunaku to disruptinga traffic okutandika saawa emu paka saawa 4 ez'okumakya. Then ekyaba 7th day nakyo ngenda kufuna more briefings about it, maybe tujja kuba tuwa more guidance kubanga aba 7th day nabo basaba ku lunaku lwe lumu. Waliwo abuuziza nti otegeera otya nti ono mu 7th day, then ngebyo. So ebyo nabyo information eno nungi, so fe ng'ogwaffe tujja kugiwaayo mu b'obuyinza nga feedback. Then waliwo omulala nayo ekikwatagana olunaku olwo olw'okwera oba olw'okuyonja nti kwa 29 omusawo ajja kuba akirizibwa naye nga bodaboda emutwala yo tekirizibwa. At the moment twagala gamba nti ekiragiro oba directive yegamba musawo, tegamba ki wa bodaboda. Actually gwoyogede na ku bodaboda naye omulala ajja genda agambe taxi special hire. So twagala just okukola ki okubategeeza nti eyo information nungi naye ogwaffe nga police tujja kugiwaayo bagikubeeko ebirowoozo. Then ne wabaawo enkyukakyuka yonna mu directives zino always tujja kusigala nga tubawa information. Waliwo omulala abuuzizza nti mutuuseewa n'ekiragiro minisita kye yawa ku bantu abagulawo amabaala nga saawa 9 tezinnatuuka. Mu luzungu tulina kye tuyita operationalization, okuteeka mu nkola ebiragiro. Maybe wano nja kusooka nfuna information engaidinge bulungi nti ekiwandiiko oba ekiragiro kya minisita tukiteeka tutya mu nkola then tujje tubaguidinge. At the moment siina bulungi guidance gye nsobola kubawa. Then ensonga ezisembyeyo ebbiri ekwatagana ne incident yaliwo ebbunga eyo mada ne omukyala era nayo nga ya mada we bayita Jovia, ezo ndugu Kawala ajja kuba abawaako guidance. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Tukilininge ku Saturday tukwate enjeyo tugende tukole. Kale mwebale. Okay.
Nokusooka dwetegekera. Good morning to you all. Hope you had a lovely weekend. The Kampala metropolitan area is relatively stable and calm. Following, we shall start from the Bunga update. Following a case of murder, attempted murder and arson that was registered at Kalungu, Bunga, Gaba Parish in Makinde Division in Kampala District. We are still investigating into that incident, yes, in which a biological mother allegedly stabbed her 5 biological children, killing 2 and injuring 3, before attempting to take her own life by stabbing herself. On the 21st of this month, our investigation team revisited the scene of crime as part of the ongoing investigations. We obtained looking through some CCTV footage around, we obtained some evidence that can help us in our ongoing investigation. We recorded statements from neighbors and first responders who were at the scene following the incident. The 2 bodies of the deceased children, Khadija Daisy and Traore. A 14-year-old, she's Khadija Daisy Traore, a 14-year-old, and Danita Mariam Traore, 10-year-old, were handed over to their father after postmortem examination, and they were buried on the 21st of this month at Kololo Muslim Cemetery. Then on the 22nd of this month, 2 of the victims, a 13-year-old and 10-year-old, were discharged from Mulago Hospital. Another victim remains admitted at Mulago Hospital and is receiving treatment. The victim is reported to be in a stable condition, so we hope for the best. The suspect also remains admitted at hospital and is reported to be in a stable and improving condition. So we also hope for the best. On the 22nd of this month, the suspect was interviewed and a detailed statement was obtained from her. In her statement, she alleged that the incident arose from ongoing domestic violence between herself and her husband. The husband was also interviewed and his statement was equally recorded. He also confirmed that there had been an ongoing domestic violence between him and his wife. Investigations are still ongoing. Upon completion of investigations, the suspect will be produced before courts of law for appropriate legal proceedings. That is after she stabilizes. There is information making rounds on social media, mostly TikTok, of Awan Jovia. I'm here to confirm that Shira Road police are actively investigating a murder incident that occurred on the 20th of August 2026 between midnight and 6 a.m. The deceased has been identified as Namuwulia Jovia, approximately 22 years, who was working as a waitress and was a resident of Mukalazi Zone, Bukoto 1 Parish, Nakawa Division in Kampala District. It's alleged that approximately 7 months ago, the deceased Namuwulia Jovia rented a room at the earlier mentioned address. After about 3 months, Jovia received a female visitor identified as Turinda Mukama Rose, who later began staying with her in the same room. On the 20th of August 2026, the caretaker of the houses received a call from relatives of the deceased inquiring about Jovia, as she was reportedly not responding to their calls. The caretaker, together with the deceased sister, proceeded to the room where Jovia was staying. Upon arrival, they found the room locked. On looking through the window, they observed blood stains inside the room. They subsequently accessed the room and found Jovia lying in a pool of blood. However, her friend Turinda Mukama Rose was nowhere to be found and is currently being sought in connection with the incident. The body of the deceased was taken to City Mortuary for post-mortem examination. Other inquiries are ongoing and efforts to trace and apprehend the suspect are actively being pursued. Anyone with information that may lead to the identification, location, and arrest of the suspect is urged to report the information to the nearest police station. The public is also advised to exercise caution regarding people they trust, to exercise caution regarding people they don't know well, and people that they give access to their homes and property. Remember, the cooperation of public remains crucial in preventing and combating crime. On the 22nd, police at Katwe conducted an intelligence-led operation in areas of Nyanama, Makindye Sabagabo municipality in Wakiso district, following information received from Boda Boda dealer company that one of their motorcycles had been stolen. The company had allegedly tracked the motorcycle, which led them to a house in Nyanama. At about 8 p.m. on the 22nd, our team immediately moved to Nyanama to locate and recover the motorcycle that had been stolen. A cordon and search operation was subsequently conducted at the identified house. During the search, we recovered one numberless red Bajaj motorcycle. We recovered 12 motorcycle number plates. Our officers recovered assorted motorcycle parts. We recovered toolboxes and other suspected motorcycle-related equipment. However, we've not yet arrested the suspect, the owner of the home, but efforts are ongoing to identify to identify and apprehend the suspect connected to the recovered motorcycle and other items. Police at Kasangati are holding 3 suspects and have also recovered motor vehicle UAH 843W. The suspects are being held in connection with the alleged theft of cattle, and the vehicle recovered is suspected to have been used in the commission of the offences of stealing cattle. The arrests and recovery were made during an intelligence-led operation aimed at cracking down on cattle thefts within the area and its surrounding districts. The operation followed information obtained through surveillance and the viewing of motor vehicle UAH 843W transporting a cow from Luwero. Acting on the intelligence, our officers immediately mounted an intelligence-led operation to trace and intercept the vehicle. The motor vehicle was subsequently recovered from an enclosed parking facility in Perere. 3 suspects have so far been arrested and are currently in our custody. The suspects include Semakula Joseph, Katabira Joseph, and Chiwanuka, who is alleged to be the owner of the motor vehicle. Investigations have established that number plate UAH 843W is allegedly a false registration number. The vehicle's actual registration number is reportedly UAP 661N. The motor vehicle is suspected to have been used in the theft of cattle from Luwero and neighboring areas. Investigations are ongoing and efforts are underway to identify and arrest other suspects linked to the cattle theft network. The recovered vehicle remains in police custody as investigations continue. Further updates will be provided as investigations progress. Go to the ground. Wiki ewedde twaregisteringa ekikangabwa mu bitundu by'e Kalungu, mu Kalungu Bunga, Gaba Parish, mu Makindye Division, mu district y'e Kampala. Maama agambibwa okuba nti yakkakkana ku baana be baazaala, ono n'abafumita okukkakkana ng'abaana 2 bafudde, 3 baddusiddwa mu ddwaliro. Mu kubafumita naye yeefumita ekiso mu lubuto ng'agezaako kwejja mu bulamu bw'ensi. Nga 21 omwezi guno abasirikale baffe baddayo okukola scene reconstruction mu kifo ekyo awaali ekikangabwa, era nga tuyina bye twafuna ebigenda okutuyambako mu kunoonyereza okwali okwekebejja cameras eziriraanye awo, nga twarekodinze ne statements okuva ku balirwana n'abo abaasooka okudduukirira omulanga. Ng'emirambo gy'abaana 2 abaafa okwali Khadija Daisy ne Danita Mariam twakola postmortem era ne tukwasa emirambo taata, era nga wetwogerera abaana bano baaziikibwa nga 21. Nga 22 omwezi guno ababiri kwabo abaakosebwa okuli ow'emyaka 13 n'ow'emyaka 10 bano babasiibula okuva mu ddwaliro e Mulago nga we twogerera mu ddwaliro wakyaliyo omwana omu ow'emyaka 5 akyafuna obujjanjabi naye nga naye tusuubira nti ajja kuba atereera bulungi nga maama ono naye akyali mu ddwaliro olw'obuvune bwe yafuna mu kugezaako okwetta nga naye bamulongoosezza nga ali mu mbeera tusuubira nti ajja kuba asuuka avunaanibwe emisango egy'ettemu, emisango egy'okugezaako okutta n'emisango egy'okwokya. Nga naye twamugjeeko statement ye nga yatutegeezezza nti ekyaleetera embeera eno bwali butabanguko mu maka, nga ne taata twamugjeeko statement ye ng'era naye yatutegeezezza nti babadde balina obutabanguko mu maka, nga maama wanaaba awonye ajja kuba asimbibwa mu mbuga z'amateeka abitebye. Nga tweyongera okubiriza abantu abalina obutabanguko mu maka okukozesa ofiisi zaffe ezikola ku nsonga z'abaana n'amaka ezisangibwa ku buli poliisi. Bw'obanga tonneetuusaako bulabe obanga oyisibwa mu mbeera etali nnungi mu maka, weekubira enduulu oba yogera tosirika. Osobola okwogera ne mukwano gwo, osobola okwogera n'ab'eŋŋanda. Ku byalo waliyo bachairman ba ssentebe, waliyo bannaabakyala, waliyo abantu bangi b'osobola okwogera nabo bw'obanga olina embeera gy'oyitamu eyinza okuba nga si y'amaka naye ate ng'olina embeera gy'oyitamu ekunyigiriza. Funa gw'oyogera naye. Okutwalira amateeka mu ngalo si a solution. So n'olwekyo tubakubiriza okukozesa ofiisi zaffe ez'ebyamaka ezisangibwa ku buli poliisi. Waliwo ebize biyitiŋŋana ku mitimbagano egy'enjawulo okuli omuwala amanyikiddwa nga Jovia eyatemulwa. Poliisi yaffe eya Kira Road eri mu kunoonyereza ku ttemu eryo nga kiteeberezebwa okuba nti lyaliwo nga 2 omwezi guno wakati wa ssaawa 6 ez'ekiro paka nga ssaawa 12 ez'okumakya, ng'omugenzi amanyikiddwa nga Namuwulya Jovia ono nga wa myaka 22 nga ono mutuuze mu Mukalazi Zone mu Bukoto 1 Parish Nakawa Division mu district ey'e Kampala, nga okunoonyereza kulaga nti ono abadde nga yasenguka mu zooni eno eya Mukalazi emyezi nga 7 egiyise. Abo waayitawo emyezi 3 ono n'afuna munne eyamwegattako nga amanyikiddwa nga Tulinda Mukama Rose, era nga bano babadde babeera wamu. Nga 2 omwezi guno akuuma ekifo ekyo ono waabeera amayumba ago waabeera yafuna essimu okuva mu b'eŋŋanda ba Jovia nti bagezaako okunoonya Jovia naye tebamufuna. Ne basitukiramu ne muganda waawo mugenzi ne bagenda Jovia waabeera. Ono ekyembi bamusanga mu nnyumba ng'ali mu kitaba ky'omusaayi, nga naye gwabeera naye Tulinda Mukama Rose taliiwo, nga tebamusangawo, nga naye tutandise okumuyigga ku misango egy'ettemu, ng'ono omulambo gwe gwatwalibwa mu ddwaliro e Mulago okugwekebejja, nga tukola kyonna ekisoboka okulaba nga yenna eyeenyigidde mu kutemula mwana muwala Jovia akwatibwa amateeka gamuvunaane. Nga bwabeerawo yenna asobola okututuusa oba ayina amayitire aga suspect gwe tunoonya aleeta amawulire ago ku poliisi emuli okumpi. Nga naye tweyongera okubiriza abantu okubeera obulindaala n'okwegendereza baani betusembeza, gw'obeera naye omwetegereza bulungi, omumanyi bulungi. So kyemba mmanya nti security etandika naawe ng'omuntu. Sooka weekenneenye, sooka otegeere muntu kikaaki gw'osembeza mu bulamu bwo oba mu makaago. Poliisi y'e Katwe yakoze ekikwekweto mu bitundu bya Nyanama, Makindye, Ssaabagabo mu disitulikiti ey'e Wakiso oluvannyuma lw'okufuna complaint ku bamu abadiilinga mu boda nti waliwo piki erabiddwako mu nnyumba emu mu Nyanama. Bano ne basitukiramu ne bagenda ne barikavaringa piki eyo. Mu maka gano mwasangiddwamu piki etalina number plate, bajaj boxer nga myufu. Basanzeemu number plates za piki 12 ne parts endala eza piki, nga tutandise kaweefube ow'okukwata nannyini maka gano, ng'era tubategeeza nti ajja kuba akwatibwa. Poliisi ey'e Kasangati ekutte abantu 3 bano ku byekuusa ku bubbi bw'ebisolo, n'ezuula n'emmotoka egambibwa okuba nti gye bakozesa mu bubbi bw'ebisolo batambulizaamu ebisolo ebibbe, ng'emmotoka ezuuliddwa UAH 843W, nga naye ate si ye number plate yaayo. Twakizudde nti babika ku number plate ey'emmotoka eno, nga number plate y'emmotoka entuufu eri UAP 666 MN, nga emmotoka eno yalabibwako ng'eva mu bitundu eby'Eluweero ng'erinamu ente. Abasirikale baffe ne basitukiramu ne bakola operation okukkakkana ng'emmotoka eno ezuuliddwa mu parking y'emu mu bitundu eby'empeererwe, ng'abakwatiddwa tubayina mu Kaduukulu kuliko Semakula Joseph, kuliko Katabira Joseph, kuliko ne Kiwanuka agambibwa okuba nti ye nannyini mmotoka eno. Ng'ebikwekweto byaffe mu kulwanyisa obubbi bw'ebisolo mu Kampala n'emiriraano bikyagendera ddala mu maaso.
How are you, sir? Are we good to go? We are set? Yeah. Is this still morning or afternoon already? The morning. Baga magnet tea. Sonkaleke wano. Wano kakola. It will work. Do from here. Okay. Good morning to everyone. We are here, basically I'm going to be updating you on the enforcement against the PSV operating in dangerous mechanical condition. Today on the 24th August 2026, the Uganda Police Force, through the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety, welcomes and fully supports the recent communication by the Minister of Works and Transport, Honorable Fred Byamukama, directing the commencement of a 100-day operation against public service vehicles operating in dangerous mechanical condition, particularly the unsafe 14 commuter taxis. The road safety situation in the Kampala metropolitan area remains a major concern, and according to our annual crime report of 2025, KMP alone, which has 3 regions, recorded the highest numbers of road crashes in the country, which registered 1,183 fatalities. Kampala metropolitan area has a high concentration of vulnerable road users, and these include pedestrians, riders, and passengers on motorcycles. We will thus not just look at the condition of PSV vehicles as a merely transport sector issue, but it is a direct road safety and a public protection issue. We have also seen from enforcement operations that mechanical condition remains one of the violations that contributes to the road safety problem. In our recent nationwide enforcement updates last week, 398 drivers were apprehended for driving vehicles in dangerous mechanical condition, alongside other violations that included dangerous loading, careless driving, and illegal vehicle modifications. So the message we want to send out today is very clear. A vehicle that is mechanically unsafe has no business carrying members of the public. We are particularly concerned about vehicles with serious defects, including brake systems, steering systems, tires, doors, seats, body structures, and other critical safety components. I think most of these vehicles, you could even be knowing them better than us, because we have been seeing many posts on social media of these vehicles. Some of these vehicles have been kept on the road for too long, and through temporary and sometimes dangerous repairs. They only go to the mechanics or to the garages to fix a few things, and then they get back to the road. But when the other major ones are not attended to. We have encountered vehicles where doors are held together by ropes. You have seen these vehicles. Vehicles with severely worn tires, damaged seats, and other defects that compromise the safety of passengers. Yes, as police, we have been encountering these vehicles and taking necessary actions. But there are other vehicles that would move in places where there is no enforcement. We have seen vehicles that when they are going to put fuel, they don't use the other normal way of putting fuel, but they put fuel from in front. You have seen these things. There's a jerrycan somewhere, it's where they add fuel from in the vehicle. We have seen these vehicles on social media. It's not AI. These vehicles do exist. Other vehicles, the doors are carried by the passengers. These vehicles are there. Don't laugh. These vehicles are there. We have been seeing them on social media, of course, but they know where they drive from. So the Ministry of Works and Transport has indicated also that approximately 60 targeted PSV vehicles inspected in the past 2 weeks failed to meet the required safety standards. To emphasize this to the tax operators fraternity, this is not a ban on taxis or the PSV business. We do recognize the important role played by the taxis in transporting Ugandans and also supporting the economy. But our concern is specifically with vehicles that are unsafe, unroadworthy, and beyond acceptable mechanical standards. Following the directive by the Minister, the Uganda Police Force has this morning, today on the 24th of August 2026, commenced the 100-day operation targeting DMC commuter taxis within the Kampala metropolitan area. Traffic police officers will be conducting enforcement operations and inspections targeting such vehicles. All PSV vehicles suspected to be in DMC status will be impounded and parked in designated places where they will be inspected later, and then appropriate action will be taken against the responsible persons. As to most of you have been saying, that seat belts came, we don't know where it went. Speed governors came, we don't know where it went. I want to tell you that this is not a one-day exercise. It is a 100-day operation. And we intend to sustain the enforcement until we see a significant improvement in the mechanical condition of PSVs on our roads. Like I've told you, officers on the ground, yes, most of them have hidden, but I don't think they will hide for 100 days. So we are there up to 100 days. Before we embark on another program, we have to make sure that there is sanity on our roads, in particular concerning these vehicles that are in bad shape on our roads. So our message to the PSV owners and the operators is simple. Do not wait for police to find the defect. Inspect and maintain your vehicle before putting it on the road. The responsibility for putting a roadworthy vehicle on the road begins with the owner and then the operator. If your vehicle is mechanically sound, properly licensed, properly inspected, and compliant with all the requirements, you have nothing to fear from the operation. I've told you that most of them have hidden. I found many people on the roads waiting for vehicles. So, if you knowingly, you the owner of this vehicle or the driver, put this vehicle on the road and carry in it passengers, we will find you. We will find you and we will stop that vehicle. We take the appropriate legal action. So like I've said, we are not fighting the tax business, but we are fighting the unsafe vehicles. Every passenger who enters a taxi or that bus, that vehicle, that has entrusted his or her life to the vehicle operator, all his life, that passenger has entrusted it with that operator of that vehicle. So that passenger therefore deserves a vehicle with proper brakes, proper steering, safe tires, secure doors, safe seats, and a vehicle that is generally fit for purpose. We have so many parked at our stations and abandoned after being involved in road crashes. They have killed people, and because they know the compensation is more than the value of the vehicle, they will not come again. So we appeal, this is to appeal to all PSV owners and operators to comply voluntarily, maintain their vehicles and remove DMC vehicles from service. We further appeal to passengers out there and the general public not to just board these vehicles that you know they are unsafe. Yes, for us the vehicle to be considered as a DMC, it is inspected by the IOV. However, there are those vehicles that you look at yourselves. The vehicles that you have been sharing, there's a vehicle I saw where someone was holding a steering from another side, in the hands actually, and it had passengers in. So, passengers, please, we appeal to you. You must not board these vehicles. For your safety, don't board these vehicles. If you see a vehicle carrying passengers in a dangerous mechanical condition, as now passengers, you'll be part of this operation. Like you have helped us in identifying these vehicles that we are moving children in an unsafe manner. Please cooperate with us. Call us and tell us. Some of these vehicles may want now to go and operate from inside there where there's no enforcement. But your role as a member of that public or community is to identify such a vehicle. You don't need an IOV. Vehicle tied with ropes. Vehicle, I've given you all the other things, but you know the rest. Please, call us. Call us, tell us where such vehicles are, give us these numbers, we shall follow up and have them impounded, and then we take the appropriate action against them. So our objective is not to inconvenience the road users. Our objective is to save lives. A roadworthy PSV is not a privilege, but it is a responsibility. I would also want to speak about the joint operations that we have already commenced with the Ministry of Works and Transport, and these we have intensified their surprise and joint operations along major highways at strategic checkpoints. You will not know when we get there. You will not know when we are coming. And in our recent joint operations, they were conducted at Maya Nsanji checkpoint, along the Kampala-Masaka highway, and Matuga along the Guru highway, where both traffic police and the officials from the ministry comprehensively inspected most of these vehicles that pass through these checkpoints. The operations were not limited to DMCs, but we are also checking on a number of things: licensing, driver licenses, badges, compliance with the route charts, dangerous loading, and so many other violations. And through this, we have demonstrated that no category of road user is above the law. Where a vehicle is found compliant, it proceeds. But where a vehicle is found violating the law, enforcement action follows. And in these operations that were conducted, several drivers were apprehended at these checkpoints, and among these, they included the heavy truck drivers or sino truck drivers. Some of these people were driving out of class. We also had taxi operators who carried more passengers than what now their licenses tell them to carry. And we also apprehended some private motorists, those that drive small vehicles. I thank you. Atudde mu Luganda, mbalamusiza mwasuze mutya, tuli wano njagala batangaza naddala eri ku bikwekweto ebitandise ku makya ga leero ku mmotoka ziganyegenya. Leero ennaku z'omwezi 24 mu mwezi ogw'omunaana mu mwaka 2026, poliisi okuyitira mu kitongole ekyayo okuyita mu directorate eya traffic and road safety twaniriza ate tuwagira nnyo ku kiragiro minisita w'ebyenguudo, minisita honorable Byamukama kyeyalagidde oba kyeyayisiza okutandikawo ebikwekweto ebinaamala ennaku z'omwezi 10 bino nga bigenderedde naddala ku mmotoka ziganyegenya ezisaabaza abantu oba ziyite zikamunye mu kitundu eky'e Kampala Metropolitan. Mu Kampala ku nsonga z'obutebenkevu ku nguudo ekyali ensonga olw'abantu abangi abazze nga bafiira mu bubenje mu kitundu kino eky'omu Kampala. Kampala erina regions 3, tuyina Kampala Metropolitan South, Kampala Metropolitan North ne Kampala Metropolitan East. Ebitundu bino bye byasinga okutta abantu okusinziira ku lipooti yaffe eyafirumizibwa mwaka 2025. Era abantu abaafa mu ebyo ebitundu byenyogeddeko baali bantu 1,183 n'abalala abawerako be bakoseddwa. Ekitundu kino eky'omu Kampala kirimu abantu abangi abakolesa amakubo nga okigeraageranyisa n'ebitundu ebirala. Abantu bano betwandiise vulnerable road users oba abo abatalina ekiba protecting nga akabenje kaguddewo, abatambuza ebigere abangi ojja basanga mu kibuga, abatambulira ku pikipiki nga bazivuga, abalala ne bazitambulirako nga basaabaze. So n'olwekyo tulaba nti emmotoka zino nga tetuzitandiseeko oba exposinga eri obulabe abantu abo abakolesa amakubo mu bungi mu kibuga. Era tulabye nti ku nsonga endala nti obubenje obw'enjawulo bwe tuzze nga tufuna bwa tuligestalinga era obuviiridde ku motoka ziganyegenya ezikolesa amakubo okwetooloola eggwanga. Kino nakyo ekyatukakatangako okuba nga tukola ebikwekweto eby'enjawulo, era mu bikwekweto bye twakola nga poliisi mu ssaabiiti eweddewo tulaba abavuzi ab'emmotoka ezo ziganyegenya ab'enkana 398 be baakwatibwa okwetooloola eggwanga nga kwotadde n'abalala mu misango emirala abavuga abo ne bavuga endiima, abayisiza we batalina okuyisiza oba bavugisa ekimama, abavuga ne batika obubi motoka zaabwe. Twalinamu n'abo abakwata emmotoka zaabwe ne baziteekako ebintu ebirala, illegal modifications. So message yaffe eri abantu ku makya ga leero nti emmotoka ezo eziri mu mbeera bwetyo gye twogeddeko ziganyegenya naddala ezisaabaza ezeenyigira nnyo mu kusaabaza abantu tezijja kubanga zikkirizibwa okusigala mu bizinesi ekyokusaabaza abantu naddala nga baganye okubanga bazirongoosa baananyinizo. So tuli concerned naffe nga police naddala ku mmotoka. Emmotoka zino ojja zisanga ku makubo naye nga ziriko defects ez'enjawulo. Emmotoka zino ezimu teziina emipiira oba emipiira egiriko bagiyita batagiyita watermelon. Teinako linga yagwako emumbwa. Emmotoka ezimu enzigi nga bazisibisa emigowa. Emmotoka ezimu waliwo gye nalaba ku social media amafuta yo tenywera eri endala we zinywera. Eteerawo wano mu maaso ku steering nga waliwo akadoola weteera amafuta. Endala nga steering omugoba waayo atambula nga agikutte mu ngalo. So ebintu bino byonna tuze nga tubeera ba ku social media CAI naye nga gyebiri wakuba nti zino emmotoka ezisinga zitambulira eyo oluusi enforcement gyetatuuka, naye ate nezo ezijja eno bwe tubeera tuzikwata ne tuzibonereza ate nezikola ki nezibanga zidda mu system nga zikola. Emmotoka zino zirudde ku nguudo zaffe nga zigendanga mu garagi nga baswala mu garagi ne bakolako ebyo ebitonotono ne bafixing endeberwamu ne bakola ku bintu ebitonotono ebirala ne babirekerera. So ebikwekweto byaffe, so emmotoka zino tuze nga tuzisingana ku nguudo nga bwe mbagambye namwe mbadde nga mukola ki nga muziraba. Ne ministry juzi yateekako okubanga bakebera zino emmotoka okugezesa, era ku mmotoka 6 ezatuuka mu byuma ate kati bo bakebera n'ebyuma oba inspection centers emotoka nga nkaaga ezakeberebwa mu weeks 2 ez'emabega teri motoka eyayita zoona zaali teziwera nti waliyo ebyali nga bibulamu zino emmotoka. So message yaffe eri banaffe aba tax abakola tax ku nguudo naddala mu Kampala, kino tekigenderedde okubanga kijja zino emmotoka ku makubo, naye kino oba okujja kubajja ku business egy'okutaabaza abantu bano, naye kino tumanyi kyemukola naddala mu kusaabaza abantu omugaso omulimu gwe mukola omulungi ennyo ogw'okusaabaza abantu kuva mu kifo okutuuka mu kifo ekirala. Naye kati konsani yaffe eri kweza emmotoka ziganyegenya nga bwe mukiwulidde ezo ezitali nnungi n'akatono. Si buli mmotoka yina ku luguudo nti ganyegenya, nedda waliwo ennungi kwankubadde nti abasinga zonna bazikwese. Kati gwe tobako kyotya, leeta emmotoka yo ffe bwe tugikwata wali tujja kuba nga tukola kitugikebera. Naye ate waliwo zino nawe zolaba teweetaaga IOV, waliwo zino zolaba zembagambye ziriko emigowa, indikeeta teziina, amataala gaavaamu dda, ziri ku nguudo, entebe teziinaamu, ezandibadde ne 14 seater osangamu nga 8 oba bazigattako ezeeyongerako, ebintu bingi bye tusobola. So abamu ndaba batidde, naye temutya mwe mugende ku luguudo, ffe abamanyi motoka ki enaabanga ganyegenya. So konsani yaffe yeeyo. Ate ku makya ga leero okukulatira eryeteeka oba ekiragiro minisita kye yafulumya, tutandise ebikwekweto ku makya ga leero era biri mu kugenda mu maaso. Ebikwekweto bino bijja kutambula mpaka ennaku z'omwezi 10, egyo gy'emyezi 3 n'omusobo, okulaba nti tuleetera ddala obutebenkevu ku nguudo zaffe, naddala kuyitira mu kwereminatinga emmotoka nga bwe zityo. Abapoliisi bali ku abapoliisi ab'ebidduka bali ku bifo ebyenjawulo ku nguudo ez'enjawulo we twogerera okubanga emmotoka zino bazikwata. Tuyina ebifo byengenda okubanga mbategeeza nga maze obitegeera bulungi we tugenda okubanga tuzipaakinga, then ba IOVs bajja kubanga bazinspectinga, ate naye naffe tuziraba n'amaaso, nawe oziraba n'omanya nti zino ziganyegenya, then we tugenda okubanga tulaba ekirala ekinaddako naddala mu mateeka. Nti abasinga muzze nga mutugamba nti bino bijja nebimala ne bivaawo. Si mulundi guno ku luno, era tubasaba temubitwala nga bya bulijjo. So exercise eno si ya lunaku lwaleero lwokka, naye exercise ejja kutambula ennaku z'omwezi 10 mu maaso, byonna nga bino bigenderedde okubanga tumalako emmotoka ezo ezeenyigira mu kusaabaza abantu mu kitundu eky'omu Kampala Metropolitan, emmotoka ezo nga teziri mu mbeera nnungi. So kuno kweyama eri abantu oba emessage yaffe eri abantu aba owninga zino emmotoka, abananyini zino emmotoka, abavuga zino emmotoka ku makubo, nti temulinda poliisi okujja gye muli okukwata zino emmotoka, naye zino emmotoka muli bawinza okuzitwalamu mwennyini ne muzikebera, we musanga ebitali birungi nebikola ki ne mufixinga. Kirungi nti Ministry of Works and Transport centers zaayo nzigule ezikebera zino emmotoka Namulanda, Kawanda ne Namanvi. Centers ezo wezili oli wawinza okugendayo emmotoka yo ne bagikebera ne weetegeka nga bukyali nga tetunajja. So emmotoka kino kikulu nnyo kyakumanya nti obutebenkevu okulaba nti emmotoka zino ziri mu mbeera nnungi ku nguudo si buvunaanyizibwa bwa poliisi yokka, naye buno obuvunaanyizibwa butandika n'oyo akolesa emmotoka ku luguudo nga kwotadde n'oyo nannyini mmotoka eno. Ate emmotoka yo bw'ebeera nnungi nga buli kimu ekiyina, operation eyo togitya. Naabo abasinga mbadde mutidde nnyo, gwe totya emmotoka yo bw'ebanga nnungi. genda ku luguudo tambuza abantu naye ate wowe omanyi nti emmotoka yo si nungi ate n'ogireeta ku luguudo ffe weetuli ojja tusanga ate tetujja kuvaawo mpaka ezo ennaku zenyogedde simanyi onaagikweka mpaka ennaku z'omwezi 10 simanyi naye ffe weetuli so kyetukusaba twala emmotoka ogitereeze ogirongoose nga tonajja so tetuli wano okubanga tulwanyisa abo abali mu bizinesi egy'okusaabaza abana abantu naye ffe tuli wano okubanga tulwanyisa ezo emmotoka ezitali nungi zebanyigiramu eno bizinesi okubanga basaabaza abantu buli musaabaze yenna ajja nga nayingira eno emmotoka agiyingira nga obulamu abanga abukuwadde gwe operator akwesiga amanya nti ojja mutambuza bulungi so emmotoka eno bwebeera na buli kimu lyessanyu ly'omusaabaze gw'otambuza naye ate bwe kiba the other way round kitegeeza nti ono omusaabaze okutuuka n'obutatuuka kiba kimu so tusaba eri abo bonna bananyinzi n'emmotoka zetwogeddeko zikamunye ezitali mu mbeera nungi n'abo abazikolesa oba abaza operatinga mutuyambe emmotoka zino muzitwale muzikoleko nga tetunajja kubanga ffe weetuli ate tetulukumpi okuvaawo ate tugenda maaso n'okusaba eri abantu abatambulira mu zino emmotoka emmotoka zino abasinga osobola nawe ogiraba emmotoka n'omanya nti emmotoka si nungi so toriskinga n'olinnyo eno emmotoka bulijjo tubagamba nti obutebenkevu ku nguudo bwebavunanyizibwa bwa buli muntu okusinga okulinnyo eno emmotoka ate n'olinda omutraffic ogikwata oyinza obutatuuka eri traffic weyimiridde ng'ekoza akabenje so kikulu nnyo eno emmotoka naawe ng'omusaabaze bw'olaba nti emmotoka eno si nungi embeera gy'erimu si nungi kino teweetaaga ayove okikutegeeza ngezo zembadde mbagambako driver ng'avuga nga steering agiina mu mikono erikunga akagwa akawaya katono nnyo ke kakwata eri ejo ozilaba ezo tokola nsobi n'olinnya emmotoka bwetyo ate zoolabanga eziri mu kukolera mu ebyo ebifo awatali poliisi mutuyambe mutukubire mwatuyamba nnyo mu kukwasaganya bano abaali bavayoletinga amateeka nga basaabaza abaana era twafuna information nnyo kuva eri abantu community kiraga nti benyigira nnyo mu bino ebintu okutuyamba so ne mu kino tubasaba mutuyambe emmotoka ezitambulira waliyo ezigenda okwagala okugenda eyo munda okusaabaza nga zimanyi nti teri poliisi enaazikwata emmotoka zino mutuwe information tukwatira awamu okulaba nti emmotoka zino tuzikendeeza ku luguudo so ekigendera kyaffe mu bino byonna si kutatagana nga abantu abakolesa amakubo gano naye ekigendererwa kyaffe okulaba nti tutaasa eri obulamu bw'abantu abatambulira ku nguudo zino nga bwe mbagambye nti waliwo emmotoka ezimu ezikola obubenje bananyinizo ne ba driver ne bataddamu okulabika olwokuba nti amanyi nti emmotoka yakola akabenje neekosa omuntu oba neemutta sente zeyandibadde nga opasetinga oyo omuntu nnyingi okusinga vali ya mmotoka oyo tatalidda katuli mu kubonaabona tuli mu kubanoonya nga temulabika mulyeyo mwekwese ng'amaliriza njagala n'obategeeza ku bikweketo byetuzze nga bye twatandika okukola okukwatira wamu n'ekitongole ekya Ministry of Works and Transport ebikwekweto bino twabitandika mu weeks nga 2 eziwedde era twatandikira bitagetinga ku makubo ga highways twatandika ne ku checkpoint ey'Emaya Nsangi ku luguudo lw'e Kampala ne tudda Ematuga ku luguudo ku Northern ebikwekweto bino nabyo bigenderedde okubanga bikebera ku bintu bingi ebyenjawulo naddala ku motoka okusingira ddala ku motoka zi Sinotrax abantu ze bazze nga beemulugunyako oba naffe tekituze nga tulaba mu bubenje bwezize nga zenyigiramu so operations zino tuzintensifies oba tuzongitaddemu amaanyi motoka ze baasi ezivayoletinga route charts motoka endala ezitalina emisolo egy'enjawulo n'ebintu bingi bino tuzze nga nabyo tubikola tubitandise obikola ate mu ebyo ebikwekweto twakwata emmotoka eziwerako oba abagoba bazina emmotoka abaali bavayoletinga ebintu ebyenjawulo ku nguudo ndowooza mu budde obulala nja kubanga mbategeeza ku bintu nabyo bye tujja kubanga tukola ku sino tracks naye kati katusoke tukole ku ziganyegenya bwe tuva ku ziganyegenya tujja kudda naye mpola mpola tujja kutambula mpola mpola buli kimu tujja kikwatako naye nga byonna bigenderedde okulaba nti waliwo obutebenkevu ku nguudo zaffe ebyo byedda bye mulimu yogera noono tebikyakola kyenkusaba genda ku luguudo gobeerera amateeka nga bwe gayina okubeera kutaasa eri obulamu bwo kutaasa eri obulamu bw'abantu abalala tetujja kusigala mu kino okulaba abantu nga bafiira ku nguudo nga tutya okukola ebintu ebimu tujja bikola kasanga byonna bigende